The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Ohio.
4 years ago, St. Edward High School captured its first football state championship with a thrilling come-from-behind victory in Canton. While there was joy in Lakewood, there was heartbreak in Huber Heights, where the Eagles' win came at the expense of the Wayne Warriors. St. Edward is back and looking to add more hardware to an already packed trophy case, but a familiar foe stands in their way. Tonight they meet again for the biggest prize in high school football. The Division I state championship game is next on Sports Time Ohio.
Clear the field and make way for the big boys. It's the Division I state championship clash here at Ohio Stadium in Columbus between the 13-1 Wayne Warriors and the 12-2 St. Edward Eagles. They met 4 years ago with the St. Ed's Eagles taking home the championship trophy. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Frank Stamps. For the Wayne Warriors in their final regular season game of the year, it came against Centerville. It was raining sideways. It was windy. They turned the ball over. It was a mess. Good news for Wayne. It finally stopped raining here in Columbus, although it is a little windy.
Well, certainly they're the happiest team in the state finals, that's for sure. When you look at their offense, what makes them go is their quarterback, Demetrius Trice. I mean, we talked about his athleticism. We talked about his poise. But what that leads to is what all great quarterbacks have is his playmaking ability. This is a quarterback that accounts for 274 yards of offense per game, and they're going to need that. He gets outside contained, and that really blows defenses up. And then when he does, he's got great vision downfield. But today, it's going to be his accuracy that matters, where he puts the football against a tough defense.
Well, he's got some talented weapons to work with. Ahmad Wagner at 6'6", 215 pounds. He's a first-team All-Ohioan. Coach says he could skip the college level and go right to the NFL. He's already committed, though, to play college basketball for Iowa. On the other side, he's got Chad Swanson, who actually leads the team with 70 catches on the season. So he definitely has some playmakers to distribute the ball to. Now for St. Edward, they're a team that's built on defense. It's a bedrock, fundamentally sound unit, and they're led by a very talented corner man who can shut down and take away your best opposing receiver in Sean Crawford.
Well, he is outstanding. Going to Notre Dame, and we talked about his coverage ability, but let's talk about the other guys in the secondary too. The Dow twins going to Kentucky. What they do in the backfield is they anticipate very well. They'll jump routes early, and they have the ability to cover for a long period of time, and that's thanks to a tough defensive line that can really get to a quarterback in a hurry. It's just a great compliment, probably the most complete defense we'll see all weekend.
What's interesting about those 25 interceptions is 15 of them have come in the last 6 games, including the playoffs, so they're getting the turnovers when they need them most. But St. Edward is far from a one-dimensional football team. They've got an offense, and a pretty good one. With more on that, the third member of our team is down on the field, Andre Knott. Hello, Andre.
Hey, Matt, how you doing? You're absolutely right. A lot of good offense for this St. Ed's team, but it starts with Cole Guest, their running back. He's coming off a 129-yard game versus Hudson. He's gone over 100 yards 7 times this year, 154 times. And check out St. Ed's offense early. They've outscored their opponent 309-49 in the first quarter this season.
All right, thanks a lot, Andre. Let's take a look at our Wayside Furniture keys to the game, Frank.
Well, the keys for St. Ed's, you want to create vertical seams. That's what the running game's based on right there. And defense, we talked about that sophisticated scheme they play in the secondary. It's called man match. They've got to have success with route recognition. And then for Wayne, early on, it's imperative they start with an early rhythm and get a pace going to play faster than St. Ed's. And then, of course, defensively, that defensive line has to be physical because they're going to get challenged for 4 quarters today.
All right, today's opening kickoff is brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. State championship football here on Sports Time Ohio, and we're all set for the Division I championship tilt. Seth Strong will tee it up and kick it away. Classic old school Lou the Toe Groza style. Booms it downfield. And on the run back, trying to get outside.
Now cutting it back, Kyle Hegedus is down at the 30-yard line. Let's take a look at the St. Edward Eagles offensive unit. Cole Guest, you just heard about him from Andre. Sean Crawford, one wide out, very explosive. And there are the men up front that make the holes and protect the quarterback. Brett Keene, who is committed to play college football at University of South Florida, completed 61% of his passes, 2,200 plus yards, 22 TDs, 7 interceptions. He has passed for a school record 54 career touchdown passes. And he'll go to work on 1st and 10, handed off to Cole Guest. And he breaks off the right side, still on his feet, and he picks up about a yard when it's all said and done. Defensively for the Wayne Warriors, brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Robert Landers is a second-team All-Ohioan at the defensive tackle spot. Guy Victoria, very good in the middle. And that secondary led by Tyree Cannell, a first-team All-Ohioan.
Right off the bat, you see number 52, Landers, makes that play, working down the line of scrimmage.
Flags fly before the ball is snapped. And we're going to get a defensive offsides, I believe. This will go against the Warriors. Dalen Myrick's our referee. Unfortunately, microphone not working at the moment, but you see the call.
You see Landers right there. This is a big matchup.
He's lined up in the neutral zone. On 2nd and short, Brett Keene with a man around his ankle is able to get rid of it, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to David Dowell. Good defensive pressure, though, by the Wayne Warriors.
Landers again with the quick start, and I'm talking both as far as his energy level and right there getting off the ball with the swim. That is outstanding. Look at that, boy, right to the quarterback, beats his man. This is a big matchup, the offensive line and the defensive line for the Warriors.
3rd and short, Keene guns it in there, 1st down. Frank Guy taking it out close to the 50-yard line.
You see Guy, he's a big receiver, 6'2", 200 pounds. They've got a number of weapons and all very, very talented.
So a 1st down play now coming up for the Eagles after they move the chains. Cole Guest trying to get to the corner. And that's something that Jay Minton, the Wayne head coach, talked to us about. He said, look, St. Edward, they get vertical quickly. And Frank, he said, they've got to maintain their gap integrity, force them outside, and use their speed to run them down.
Absolutely. And there you see the running back, Guest, gets a great block from the left side by Gauthier, and also Geib is there. But it's the play of Gilliam, number 7, coming up and supporting the corner that limits that run.
Where a member of the chain gang is down, and he's in a lot of pain. He got to run over in the scrum along the sidelines, and he's being attended to right now. So both teams are going to be sent to the sidelines because he's in a precarious spot along the sidelines, so they can't really continue at the moment. But St. Edward picking up a 1st down on this opening drive. And then on the 1st down play, they go with Cole Guest trying to sweep to the outside, and you see the chain man, it looked like he was still trying to get the chain set, and he just got run over.
Yeah, you see right there, you see Gilliam and then Cannell right around the ankles. Yeah, he does get wiped out. Take a look at it. He doesn't even know it's coming.
No, like I said, he was down trying to affix something to the chain, the marker, and he never saw the action coming at him.
And Matt, you know, when I'm down there on the sidelines and I see the play coming at me, and I wish more people need to be aware, that play gets to the numbers, or even if I know it's coming towards the sidelines, I'm starting to get away because it gets on you in a hurry, way faster than you think. And I feel that, you know, just he wasn't even aware of it.
You know, certainly unfortunate here right at the outset. Got an injury situation to a member of the chain gang, and you got to get his safety
There we go.
accounted for, and it looks like they're going to be able to get him up.
There we go. That a baby. And this speaks to the speed at which the teams play. There's not even time to set the chains, and the play's coming at you.
Rick Finati in his 6th year as the head coach at St. Edward.
There's a bit of a smile there. That's good. See 63 right there, Ben Gauthier. Coach Finati talks about him being one of the anchors of that offensive line along with Andrew Turner.
Brett Keene, senior signal caller, checks with the official, and now we're ready for action. 2nd down and 9 after the 1-yard run by Guest. Well, jet sweep action with Sean Crawford coming on the near side. Dips outside, and he's close to a 1st down. He's forced out about a 1.5 yards shy. Into Wayne Warrior territory.
Getting speed to the perimeter right there with Crawford on the jet sweep, and he just sticks his guy and leaves him in the dust. And then the secondary support shows up. That's Richard Carpenter right there. You see the move, making the first guy miss.
Opening drive of the football game. St. Edward on the move. The average just under 35 points a game. 339 yards of offense per contest, and Cole Guest breaks free. Tripped up down inside the 30 with a 1st down. Guest averaging better than 6 yards a carry, and that one went for 15.
There's the vertical seam we're talking about with Guest. He gets the guard tackle pull. There's Gauthier and Hoopka. They seal down the front side of that. The right side blocks down, and he gets behind Gauthier and Hoopka.
Guest power running down inside the 25-yard line. Well, you talked about Hoopka, Kyle Payne, the center, Kyle Tomczak, the other guard, and then Turner and Gauthier, the tackles. This is an offensive line. It's not as big as the one Wayne faced 4 years ago, but it is very good and very effective. Coach Minton said when we came out here 4 years ago, we thought we were playing the Green Bay Packers when they came out of the locker room.
Yeah.
2nd and 5. Keene gives it to Guest on the sweep. He's in the free. Reaching for the pylon. He's about 2 yards shy. He stepped out of bounds at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal for the Eagles.
The Warriors have this defense well. There's the support coming up. It's number 42, John Sparks, but he's just too late. And a beautiful block downfield on Richard Carpenter. That is just outstanding. You see the speed with Guest plays. They have a defense well, but just not fast enough to stay up with Guest.
2 tight ends, high formation. Guest still on his feet and down inside the 1. It'll be 2nd down and goal to go. The ball popped free, but he was down inside the 1-yard line. And now Guest will leave the field.
Big scrum, a lot of bodies, a lot of contact right there. Again, no down at short yardage goal line. You don't want to see penetration. That offensive line is keeping the Warriors at bay.
And on this carry, it's in. It's a touchdown for Andrew Dowell. Vaulting into the end zone. And the Eagles draw first blood.
The Warriors get some penetration here, but it's not play side. Look at that, beautiful down, and then the nice block kicking out. That is outstanding right there. Finishing that drive off with an exclamation point, running it in.
John Patrick Walton for the point after try. It's up and it's good. So the St. Edward Eagles with an impressive opening march to the end zone. They lead it 7-0. Sports Time Ohio's coverage of the Ohio High School Athletic Association Football Championships brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy the most sports on the most devices no matter where you are, only with Time Warner Cable. By Panini's, home of the famous overstuffed sandwich. And by Wayside Furniture, better furniture, priced lower. All right, it's St. Edward's 7, Wayne nothing, but Wayne hasn't had the ball yet. So they're about to get it for the first time in this contest. That was the member of the chain gang. Looks like he's okay, which is a good sign to see. I don't know that he'll be back in the action anytime soon, but good to see him in high spirits. So we're ready for the kickoff now as Walton will tee it up. Wagner and Cannell back deep, but it's going to be a short kick. And picked up at the 20-yard line by Cannell. Not much there. Take a look at the Wayne Warriors offense. Greg Schrader has carried it the most times out of the backfield. Their leading receiver, of course, Swanson and Wagner. Up front, Young is the center, Jackson and Lewis the guards. Canale and Brona are the tackles. And Dimitri Trice, first team All-Ohio and co-offensive player of the year in Division I, 3,600 through the air, another 350 on the ground. 10 TD passes, or excuse me, 39 TD passes, 10 picks, 1 rushing touchdown.
This is what they play with, 3 wides, 2 backs.
We'll hand it off. And a short gain, couple of yards. Defensively for St. Edward, brought to you by Time Warner Cable. The O'Malley boys, Reynolds and Thompson up front. Linebackers, Dupree, Henderson, Carandang. And then in the secondary, Crawford, the Dowell twins, and Hegedus. Gain of a couple, 2nd and 8. Trice looking in the air, guns it, and it's caught. And down goes Chad Swanson, about 3 yards shy of the first down. Swanson is team high 71st catch on the year.
This is key. Good recognition, great look off right there, and rhythm and pace, and he does that very well. Getting out to Swanson, putting them in a manageable 3rd down. But that is key, talking to Coach Minton. We've got to start fast, and we've got to start early with our rhythm and pace and be on.
On this 3rd and 3. Trice wanted to take off now, guns it for a first down. He hits Swanson again. Little skinny post route downfield for the first. Boy, that ball had some zip on it.
How about it? And high. Swanson does a great job, but there's the poise. Right there, did you see it? He was going to take off. He says, no, no, no. I'm a quarterback. I throw the ball, and he delivers it for the first down.
On a 1st and 10, Trice looks over the defense. And a good route, slant route to Ahmad Wagner. Wagner leading the team in receiving yardage. He's closing in on 1,000 yards for the year.
Ooh, this is really good. I mean, he's executing at a high rate right there. Good vision downfield and delivering the ball with accuracy away from the defenders. If you saw that, that was delivered away from the closing linebacker.
Troy Henderson was trying to get there, but it was a step late. Trice play action. Downfield, in and out of the hands, and incomplete. He was looking for the freshman, LaChristian Smith. But he couldn't quite pull it in. And anytime the ball gets popped in the air, you figure these Eagles are going to pounce on it.
Yes.
That's how they've made their living on defense.
Tip drill in effect right there. Pretty good coverage, but great body position by LaChristian Smith right there. Just a freshman, extremely great talent. We'll chalk that up to freshman nerves right there.
So 3rd and 3 once again for the Wayne Warriors. They converted on their previous 3rd down try. This time Trice takes off. He's got the 1st and more. And a late flag came in at the end of the run. Is this a face mask at the end of the run? There are 2 flags. Looks like they're going backwards, so it's on the Warriors. A hold at the end of the run. It's going to make it 3rd and like a yard now.
Get ready, 3rd down.
Now the hold certainly negates a great effort.
But because it's a spot foul, it's 3rd and less than a yard.
There, you see, we talked about his play. There's the hold. You see it right there. Getting one of the Dowell twins downfield, costly mistake. You see there the playmaking ability of Trice and what he can do with his legs.
They need less than a yard to pick it up here, and they're going to throw it. And it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. That Matt Wilcox, I believe, coming out of the backfield. Wow, interesting. 3rd and less than a yard, and they decided to go with the pass. Now, if he catches it, he's still running. And now on 4th and short, Jay Minton decides they'll punt it away.
Well, that was an excellent route. They caught Edward Eagles in man-to-man coverage. They do a scissors route, get a great rub.
Oh, it's still out of the hands of the punter. And it's blocked. And the Eagles will have it at the 20. So a drop pass, a drop snap, and a block punt. And the Eagles are set up to take the big early lead.
A little nervous there, dropping the punt, costly mistake in special teams. And the Eagles just are all over that for the block, setting up great field position for their offense.
Adam Thompson pouring in to get the block. And then he ends up tackling the Warrior who recovered it, but that's to no avail. It didn't matter at that point. Tyree Cannell covered it, but there was nothing he could do. Officially, they'll take over at the 19-yard line with a first down. And Cole Guest back in there at the tailback spot. Lines up behind the quarterback, Brett Keane, who's in what they refer to as the pistol formation. Keane hands it to Guest, big hole. But he couldn't quite break outside and break free. Tobias Gilliam came up to make the stop defensively.
Well, there's the vertical seam. That's the zone, outside zone right there. The line does a nice job, but it's the close by the defense. That's Guy Victoria, the middle linebacker, 6'2", 230, one of the leader at his position.
Now Mike Warden delivered a big hit to get him to the turf. 2nd and 9. Flanker screen. Crawford makes the catch, but he's met by 3 red shirts. Nowhere to go. And it will be 3rd down and 9. Might have lost a half a yard, closer to 3rd and 10.
See the delivery under pressure right there. Crawford does a nice job of staying with the catch. Just too many orange shirts or red shirts rallying to the football. Right there. Good open field tackling.
This would be huge for Wayne if they could get a stop. After the block punt. Keane, heavy rush. Oh, what a catch! Oh my goodness! David Dow with amazing concentration to pull it in, take the big hit, and it's a 1st and goal for St. Edward.
Now Keane does an exceptional job of extending the play and then throwing the ball on the run to Dow, and this is just unbelievable. Listen, wow! Man, boy, Tyree Cannell cannot believe that Dow holds on to that football.
That is incredible. They crowd the line of scrimmage. Guest rammed back in the backfield. What push up front by the Wayne Warriors that time frame.
Led by Robert Landers, you see there, number 54 as well. He's there. Look at this, just dominating. There's Landers. He takes on 3 guys and really never even touches Guest. He just watch this. Bam! He takes on the 2 pulling guard and the pulling tackle and just blows them into the running back and knocks him down.
2nd and goal to go from the 10. Brett Keane. Intercepted! His receiver, Sean Crawford, fell down, and Mike Warden picked it off. That is a huge stop for the Wayne Warriors from Huber Heights. We've got a timeout here in Columbus. St. Edward has the lead. It's only 7, thanks to this interception by Mike Warden.
While watching today's game, nominate a standout performer for the All Powers team on Twitter using the hashtag OHChamps. The All Powers team will be revealed tonight after the Division 5 championship game. All things considered, it's turned out to be a spectacular day here in Columbus. It rained pretty much after the game Thursday all the way through until just before we kicked off here this afternoon. Let's go down on the field for the man who's always standing in the sunshine, Andre Knight.
There actually is sunshine, Matt. I don't know if we really can't feel it because it's cold, but there actually is sun out. You guys have been talking about the sophistication of this St. Ed's secondary and some of the coverages they play. And I know, Frank, you mentioned that scissors route that was ran earlier by Wayne Trace. They got over here on the sideline after the last turnover of possessions, and they're talking about, and I've never seen high school kids talk like this in coaches, but they're saying, hey, if they want to run those scissors routes and things like that, almost like basketball, pass the guy off to the other, to the other receiver. I just never have seen a high school team willing to do that. It'll be interesting to see if Wayne Trace continues with those type of routes and if they can change it up and go zone while they're in man, basically.
Well, that's an excellent point you make, and I tell you, that's going to be really hard to do. All of a sudden change your whole scheme in the backfield where you're passing off routes that hit very quickly.
All right, Dimitri Trice gonna hand it off. And an inside run into the open. Off to the races goes Greg Schrader. And he's run down finally at the 25-yard line. An incredible burst right up the middle.
Well, spread him out and then hit him up the gut. Beautiful block on the second level with the linebackers. And then you see Schrader. Man, he's looking back. Is anybody coming? And he keeps motoring down the field. Coach Minton talks about his explosiveness, and he's deceptively fast. Right there, he just ripped off a 62-yarder.
Antonio Butler finally tracked him down. David Dowell was closing in as well. But what a change in the ball game. Trice, incomplete. Gunning it for the near side. He was trying to get it to Chad Swanson. But I mean, the Warriors are back against their own goal line. It's
right.
First and goal. St. Ed's is thinking we're going to go make this a 2-touchdown lead, and the next thing you know, here come the Warriors.
Right.
They're almost in the red zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And and the Warriors or the Eagles benefited for the big play and special teams, and the Warriors came back right with a turnover of their own in the red zone.
Trice swings it. Wilcox hammered in the backfield. Andrew Dowell, first team All-Ohio, and is going to Kentucky along with his twin brother David. He looked like he knew the play was coming. He got there so fast.
So with the flat pass, he just beats number 50 Ben Jackson to the football. See this right? Ben Jackson has got him. He can't keep up with the speed of Dowell. And I talked about their recognition and their ability to jump routes. It's outstanding right there. Now not only did Andrew Dowell, David Dowell.
Third down, they need the 15-yard line. Eagles show blitz. Trice gets outside. Caught! A first down! The big man, Ahmad Wagner, brings it down in traffic, and the Warriors move the chains.
Right here, there, playmaking ability. He gets outside of Troy Henderson, extends the play. Look at the vision downfield to find Wagner. Look at that, and he gets to his big guy, 6'6", 215, and down there on the field looking at him, he's every bit of 6'6", and with cleats and a helmet, he's 6'8".
Now Wagner lines up to the near side, bottom of the formation. From the 13-yard line. Trice going to hand it off. And Schrader down close to the 10. You know, it's interesting. Jay Minton told us that Dimitri Trice is very close to Braxton Miller. He said they're almost like family, the two of them. He's learned so much from Braxton as a competitor, as a quarterback, but he said he's also taken on that even keel composure that we've seen from Braxton Miller over the years as the Ohio State quarterback. And you're seeing it on this drive.
Yeah, I thought that was very interesting, talking about that relationship and how important it's been to his development.
Second down. Trice launching it for the end zone for Wagner. Touchdown!
one-handed over-the-shoulder catch by Ahmad Wagner. His 15th touchdown catch of the year, and he's showing why Iowa can't wait to get him on the basketball floor next year.
I mean, this kid is big. That's just a beautiful catch there. Working against He's working against Butler. That's just a beautiful catch right there. Well thrown football, and then the ability to one-hand it and curl it in.
Extra point try up and good. Nate Strong boots it through. And we are tied at 7 with 2:23 left to go here in the first quarter. Very entertaining opening frame in this Division I state championship clash. So the Wayne Warriors from Huber Heights, Montgomery County. They were a state runner-up in 1999 and a state runner-up in 2010. They desperately want to bring home the big prize, and Jay Minton has been at the helm for 17 years. He told us he took over for a head coach who believed in trying to outscore the other guy all the time. And he said, boy, they scored a lot of points, but he said, I just thought in my own mind, you know, you can win games. I don't know if you can win championships this way. And so he got more of a balanced attack, you know, trying to build the defensive side of the football, and he's done quite a job.
And that philosophy was instrumental in keeping his defense, longtime defensive coordinator, Pat Woody. And Pat Woody says, hey, you're my kind of coach. He stays on. He was a science teacher in the school. Now he's retired, but been at the school for 30 years. And they've just have a great relationship now.
Jay Minton calls him a great luxury to have. On the return, here comes Sean Crawford. Up over the 20-yard line and hit down immediately there. Wow, good stop made by Chris Otto. Otto's one of the defensive ends for Wayne, and he got down the field and laid a pretty good lick on one of the best players in the state of Ohio.
So now St. Ed's is in an interesting situation. The last couple of games, or 3 games, you know, they haven't given up a ton of points. I believe it's 14. They gave up 14 in the fourth quarter last week. Other than that, they pitched 2 shutouts. Now they've got a team that's really come back and answered them here in the first quarter. See how they react to this. Not great field position either.
Brett Keene will take over from his own 22. Handed off to Cole Guest. He's in the open. A foot race to the end zone. And Cole Guest is going to win it. Touchdown. I think they responded quite well, Frank. 78 yards to pay dirt.
I almost feel like Guest is tuned into the broadcast. He said, I'll show you, Mr. Stams. There's the vertical seams that they needed. It's straight up the gut. Quickest way to the goal line is north and south. And look at the breakaway speed, the ability to take it the distance by Guest. Nice blocking up front.
That was electrifying. Up and good. John Patrick Walton boots it through. 14-7. The Eagles go back on top. Frank, you talk about sprinter speed. I think this is what they're talking about.
Oh, absolutely. Nice blocking, hat on hat, moving your feet, creating a vertical seam, and boy, that's all he needs is in the secondary in a hurry. He splits the defenders because they've got him spread out by formation, and there it is, 6 points. I'm tired. He's not tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. You know, we've seen so many great games. The first night, Athens, Central Catholic. Yesterday, Minster, Kirtland. I had to take a B12 shot this morning before I came to the stadium.
It's been we shouldn't be allowed to have this much fun.
No, this is really,
it's been wildly entertaining. At least the 3 games that you and I have had the pleasure of calling, starting on Thursday night, yesterday afternoon, and now here today in the Division I championship match. 9 carries for 121 yards now for Cole Guest.
Look at that.
It helps when you bust one off from 78 yards to take it into the end zone.
I gotta believe that's record-setting pace right there.
And now Walton will kick it off. And Wagner from his own 10-yard line. This guy can run like a gazelle. Look out, he's gone. The track meet has begun.
Where's he going to school for basketball?
Iowa.
I'm telling you
They
what.
better be careful. There's going to be a lot of people calling him thinking, hey, you want to play football?
Absolutely. And it refreshed my memory because I can't, he was at the Browns when I was there, the head coach at Iowa.
Kurt Ferentz.
Kurt Ferentz. He's going to be calling Ahmad Wagner and said, hey, listen.
What do you think about some Saturday afternoons coming down?
We don't need you to practice. Just come to the game.
Up and good, and we are tied at 14 with just under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Special teams coming back with a big play. They had a negative special teams. Now this is a huge positive with Ahmad Wagner. Look at the ability with the big man. Again, I can't overestimate his size. I mean, he's 6'6", 215, 220, runs like the wind, the cutting ability.
How many times have you heard coaches in the course of your lifetime say on special teams, go north and south, don't dance, don't go laterally, get up the field? That was straight up the field running.
Absolutely, because on the kickoff, if you go sideways, you got to outrun the whole team. If you go north and south, you've really only got to split 2 or 3 guys.
Terrific blocking, and Wagner made the most of it. That's only the second kickoff return of the year for Ahmad Wagner. The other one went 32 yards. So that's some great coaching by Jay Minton, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, so now the Warriors will tee it up. Seth Strong will kick it away. His brother Nate Strong handles the point after try, and they're completely different style kickers. This is Crawford from the 16-yard line. And now Crawford still on his feet. And out close to the 40-yard line. So the Eagles go to work with 1:47 left in the quarter. Gives everybody a chance to catch their breath.
People ask me, where's the defense today? And I said, well, do they teach tackling anymore? I said, it's not that. It's the offense are spread out. There's much more space. The hardest tackle in the world is the open field. And these kids they're bigger, faster, stronger these days. You're going to see more scoring by design.
They're getting opportunities to make plays in space. How about this formation? Stack the receivers on both sides of the field. They throw the flanker screen, but it's in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Drake Morris.
See, they're trying to get it to Morris right here. This is just a long handoff with a blocker out in front of you. Getting your guys in space, catch the ball, and then you're going to try to outrun the pursuit coming from inside now. All you need is one block versus 6 or 7 on the inside.
Keene is a little too high with that last target. Cole Guest hit in the backfield, nowhere to go. And he's smothered for a big loss. And once again, it's your guy, Frank. You've been talking him up since the game began, Robert Landers. He's mad because he only made second team All-Ohio. He's going to show the Riders they made a mistake.
Yeah, just outstanding the first step. Reminds me of Michael Dean Perry right there in the backfield, beating the guard or tackle or whoever he lines up off the ball. I mean, that kid, if he starts playing every down, it's going to be a long day.
3rd and 13. And Keene under pressure. Guns it. Complete. And out to the 44 is Andrew Dowell, but well short of the first down. They're going to need about 5 on 4th down, so I would imagine this is a punting situation. But we'll see what Coach Rick Finati decides to do in his 6th year at the helm of the St. Edward Eagles program. And they're going to punt it away. And the punter is the quarterback, which is I've always thought is a nice luxury to have, because should anything go awry, you got a guy who's very adept at either running or throwing it. And if you want to try a fake, you've already got him right there.
Now timeout called by St. Edward. St. Edward, of course, from Lakewood, Ohio. The Eagles, 20 times they've qualified for the playoffs. They were state runner-ups in 1975, 1986, and in 2003. And then Rick Finati took them to their first state championship as a football team in 2010. He's gone 57-15 in his 6 years at the helm. You know, it's probably a little daunting when you're at St. Edward High School and you want great success in the football program, and you got that wrestling specter hanging over you with all the hardware they've put in the trophy case. People are saying, hey, when are you guys going to put some football trophies in here, right?
Competition only makes you better, huh?
Yes, indeed.
You know, a real student of the game and genuine concern for the kids. We had a great conference call with him, and he spent close to an hour with us on the phone, and just couldn't talk enough about what he's doing there, the culture he's brought to the program, and how important it is for him to do it the right way. And you know, I was real impressed. We started out with defense, and real impressed with what he's trying to teach the kids. He said at first they were slow adapting to it, and they had some miscues, but now they've got a great handle on it as far as what they want to accomplish.
On fourth down, a jump off sides, and that's going to give them a first down. How do you like that?
Encroachment on the defense, number 54. 5-yard penalty. So the penalty is first down.
Take another look. Right side of your screen. You jump into the neutral zone. Offside. Oh, what did I just do? Says Colin Lehman. But, well.
I stay poised. Okay, one off. Forget about it if you're the Warriors. You got a cheap one if you're the Eagles.
Jay's not going to forget about it for a while.
Yeah, in fact, he might remind him again at halftime.
First and 10 now. Brett Keene, play action, going downfield, looking for incomplete. He was looking for David Dow, but he had Crawford right underneath of him. He had two guys running almost identical routes.
Well, anytime you get two receivers in the same area, you have more defense. But watch the catch-up speed and the timing here by Tobias Gilliam, number 7. That's just beautiful right there. He was matching it step for step, had every bit of speed as Dow and Crawford.
Guest, nowhere to go. He swarmed under. And that time the stop made by number 42, John Sparks.
See Sparksy there, right there. Look at that. All of a sudden, Banff getting off blocks. Outstanding. You see Landers getting off the blocks. There's Sparks doing exactly what linebackers need to do, is cleaning up the play. Sparks isn't able to hold on to it because the blocker continues to crush him.
We shouldn't be allowed to have this much fun in a football game, but this one has been incredibly entertaining. And after one quarter of play, St. Edward and the Wayne Warriors knotted up at 14 apiece. Tied at 14 as we start the second quarter, down to Andre Knott.
Thanks, Matt. We're with Bo Rugg of the OHSAA. You're in charge of the officials for this weekend, obviously, but all year long. Just go into just some of the things that you have to deal with throughout the year.
Well, you know, we have over 16,000 officials in the state of Ohio, and it's a big job. I've got 12 directors of officiating development that are fabulous, and they help me. And our local associations are also fabulous in the recruiting end of getting new officials into the game. So it's a big process, but it's an enjoyable one.
Absolutely. Now you got to help out the chain gang over there. They've been running up and back and forth the field.
It's a hard thing, and those guys work hard. And those chain gangs at these finals are from local officiating organizations across the state.
Appreciate it. Great job, Bo. Back up to you, Matt.
All right, thanks, Andre. Thanks to Bo. 16,000 officials. Wow. Takes a lot of manpower to make it go. Third down and long for St. Edward. They're 3 for 4 on third down so far here today. Keene guns it into the flat, caught, first down. Or is it very close, right at the sticks? I think he's got it on the spot. Sean Crawford went up, made a terrific catch. And I believe he's got enough for the first down.
Long throw for Keene to make, and that ball hangs up in the air a long time. It just shows you a great route run by Crawford there, catching the ball at its highest point. Good execution in the pass game.
It is a first down. The Eagles keep the drive moving. Keene, wide open receiver. Down inside the 30-yard line goes Frank Guide. Second catch of the game for Guide. He averages almost 14 yards a catch this year.
See, Guide, they catch the linebackers real deep, versus a 7-8 yard route right there. Linebackers were playing about 12 yards. I mean, I applaud them for getting on top of the receivers, but that's too much cushion.
Again, first down. Keene guns it in there, complete. And David Dowell goes down inside the 15-yard line. Another first down. Boy, this Eagle offense is really starting to hum.
Yeah, and this is a great route. Good call right here. It's a curl by Dowell. He gets in front of the safety. They send a receiver out into the flat. That draws the backer away. And Dowell comes back in a curl at about 7-8 yards. And you see Gilliam right there. He can't react fast enough to the pass.
Keene's throwing some fastballs. Another one over the middle, incomplete. And a penalty flag comes in. Pass interference will be called here on the defense. Tyree Cannell, first team All-Ohio, and was trying to keep pace with Crawford, but he got tangled up with him. And a penalty flag came in.
Pass interference on the defense, number 2. Half the distance to the goal. Call the play, first down.
See, Cannell, he gets caught there a little bit, wasn't comfortable with letting Crawford get away, so he says, hey, I'm not giving up the 6. I got to grab him a little bit and see if I can get away with it. See right there, he pleads his case at the end, but the official is all over it.
And now a penalty flag comes in before the play is snapped, and it's going to be offside against Wayne. So they have really hurt themselves with penalties. You go back to they should have the football. It was a punting situation for St. Edward. They jumped off sides.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense, number 52. Half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
It's their 5th penalty already for 30 yards. The Eagles yet to have a penalty go against them.
That speaks directly to poise right there.
First down, goal to go. Another jump, another flag. Which one is this? This is going to be against the Eagles.
Well, I'd like to know, is there I guess I saw the movement initiated by the defense.
False start on the offense, number 58. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Do we have that in high school? I know. Take a look at it here. The defensive end, he makes a flinch. Well, you can't see it, but you see Andrew Turner reacts to that.
$11:19 left to go here in the first half. First and goal to go from just inside the 9. Keene on the roll. Throws. Incomplete. In the end zone, a penalty flag comes in. But this is back more toward the line of scrimmage. We might get a holding call on the offense. Yep, that's what it's going to be. So the Eagles, who had not yet been penalized, have now been hit with a couple. An offside, false start, now holding.
Holding on the offense, number 65, 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
You're going to see it right here. Cold guess? No, it's
Tupka.
Yeah.
He's holding the defensive end, coming in, trying to make progress to the quarterback. Take a look at it right there. You see it. He's working against number 25.
Yeah.
That's Danielle Denson. He gets position on him.
Cole Guest up the middle, fumbles the football. But now the whistles blow, and they say he was down when the ball came out.
Good call. So we saw it from all the way up here. The Warriors don't like it.
Well, Andre Douglas would have been off to the races with the ball.
See the vision right there. Guest runs to it, and then the hop, getting over the traffic at his legs. Right there, he comes down, catches
the elbow hits. Second down, goal to go from the 19-yard line. So a couple of key penalties have stymied this impressive Eagles drive. And then they go to Guest. He bounces it outside. And he's down to the 10-yard line.
So you say to yourself, how is he able, at the point of attack, they got it stopped. How is he able to get yardage like this out of it? Because the linemen continue to block, and they won't let their guys off their blocks. And I think that's what the Eagles do so well, is their linemen move their feet and continue to finish the play. Play to the echo of the whistle.
Andrew Dowell checks into the backfield as Guest gets a breather. Third down, goal to go from the 10. Key looks to the sideline. Now ready for the snap. Play action. He's under heavy rush. Throws it to the end zone. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to David Dowell. And now a fourth down field goal try coming up.
You know, he had Geib open, but he got a little nervous. Landers was in his face right away, and that just blows up his vision. It directs his vision down to the defensive lineman, tries to escape. But as you mentioned, good coverage on Dow.
John Patrick Walton has hit on 4 out of 6 this year. His longest has been from 31. This will be from 26. It is up and it is good. So St. Edward takes the lead at 17-14 as they punch it in for the field goal with 10-12 left to go here in the half. St. Edward on top 17-14. Wayne Warriors have benefited from the abilities of Ahmad Wagner here today. Wagner, an incredible talent. Big guy, 6'6". He can shield defenders from the ball. He can go up and make one-handed catches in the end zone. And, oh, by the way, don't kick it to him or he can do this.
Tremendous skill at the receiver, you know, as a returner. I'm sure you stick him at safety, he'll be, you talk about him playing center field. It's just an all-around talent. Doesn't surprise me at all. He's an exceptional basketball player. I played with a guy in the Browns, Keenan McCardle, was an outstanding basketball player with UNLV. And I witnessed that firsthand.
You have to be to play at UNLV.
Yeah, I mean, he was outstanding. Played a number of years in the pros.
Well, I'll be curious to see what John Patrick Walton does here, what the instructions he got from Coach Fanati in terms of this kick. You just try that line drive, drill it downfield to keep it away from the speedsters. Yep. Wilcox on the return, up over the 35 to the 37-yard line. And a penalty flag on the field. Boy, all of a sudden, he's been littered with laundry.
Game's getting a little sloppy.
A little sideline warning.
Sideline warning. Wayne, first one. Saw the play is first down.
So, you get a warning. Second time they give you a ticket. That's simply a case where the officials, they're thinking safety. They don't want people getting in the way. Yeah. And it's just, hey guys, just remember, get back. We've already had a guy get run over on the other sidelines earlier. So play action. Trice wants it all. Down the middle. Too tall for Swanson.
It's a nice double move downfield by Swanson. He's open. He sticks him kind of with the corner post right there. It gets inside the defender. Take a look at it again. Ball's just a little too high, but as you can see, Swanson is wide open there.
Frank, one thing I've noticed too is that the Eagles aren't getting a lot of pressure on Trice, and when they have, he's been able to scramble out. Here's a run up the middle. Schrader. And he was close to breaking free, but Danny O'Malley dragged him down at the 45-yard line. Going to give him 3rd and 2.
Yeah, and you talked about, Trice, his ability. As we take a look at the replay right there, Coach Minton, he wants to, I think they're really balanced. This team is really balanced. You see right there, by formation, trying to get up in the middle to Schrader off the quarterback read.
Eagles showing blitz. In the clear. Big run. Wilcox down inside the 35-yard line. They might have blitzed themselves right past him.
Yeah, you live by the blitz, you die by the blitz. And right here, good blocking up front. Nice down block right there. And talk about the vertical seams. St. Ed's isn't the only one that can create that. And Coach Minton talked about establishing the run. And when I said they're balanced, I mean, this team's passed the ball 380 times, but they've rushed the ball 390 times.
Matt Wilcox, only a sophomore. Play action. And that's caught by Swanson at the 31-yard line. Short pickup.
And that's a nice route. He's working against David Dahl right here, and he's physical. Again, good poise in the pocket right there. He runs David Dahl off, and a little bit of contact too with running him off, and then turns it back to the outside. But how about the timing on that? Even with the look off, he knows that Swanson's going to be there, delivers a strike.
Schrader, he's got a hole, and he's met hard in that hole by Andrew Dowell, but not before he got to the 26-yard line. It will leave them with 3rd and about 2. This is a pretty good collision. Oh.
I've noticed when teams start approaching the red zone and in the red zone, each team gets a little bit more competitive, as you heard on that last play.
3rd down and 2. Schrader. He won't get there. The Eagles rise up and turn him back. And now 4th down decision for the Wayne Warriors. And Jay Minton has already made his decision to go for it, or are they going to talk about it? Nope, we got an official timeout, man down for Wayne at the 30-yard line.
That's Crawford stepping up, making a play on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage. And that's what Coach Finati talked about is, hey, we got to strike, get off, let our back 7 play behind our aggressive front 4.
It's the running back, Greg Schrader, who's down on the play. And they're looking at his right leg. Schrader came in as the leading ball carrier for Wayne, and he's already shown good burst, ability to get north and south. And then we've seen a lot of that already in this game.
Yeah.
Players just finding a way, whether it's planting that foot in the ground and just getting upfield, but some big plays have already erupted.
Yeah, big plays. I think we only really have one red zone score. That was the first score.
Good sign here. Schrader able to put weight on it.
Yeah,
he walks off.
He's a tough kid, and you could tell in his voice, Coach Minton. You see him out there on the field, concerned about Schrader. Talented kid, athletic. He's an outstanding wrestler, and Coach Minton really kind of perked up when he was talking about Schrader, and just couldn't say enough good things about him. How his character and his all-around toughness. He's getting ready to go back in. Just get some water, and I'm ready.
Well, before he can go back in, they have to get the first down. It's 4th and 2. Trice by his lonesome in the backfield. Wagner comes in motion. Wagner's wide open on the other side of the field, but Trice can't get away. That play just never looked like it had a chance. Wagner went in motion to the other side of the formation, and nobody covered him. But Trice rolled to the near side and didn't really have anybody to throw it to.
Well, he didn't. I mean, nice coverage. They go, here comes the pressure. They're blitzing. They're man up in the secondary, and he never gives, Wagner a look. So they're really, they're playing with 10 guys out there.
So St. Edward leads at 17-14 with 7:53 left to go in the first half, and they've got the ball back. Tony Dupree making the stop, first team All-Ohio, and headed to Kent State next year. On the sweep, Crawford cuts it back. Not much there, and he took a big lick at the end of that play, and I believe, yep, once again, it's number 52, Robert Landers. This guy's playing like a man possessed.
Well, Landers can thank his defensive end right there because, yeah, you see that him cleaning up a pile, but that defensive end really sets the edge for him. That was Colin Lehman out there turning everything back into the core of the defense.
Then a lot of hard hitting here today. Cole Guest on the swing pass. Oh, what a move! And he's close to a first down. He spun out of a tackle and almost picked up the first down. He's shy by about a yard.
Well, we talk about great ball carriers making the first guy miss, and there's a lot of guys that do it, but that, I'll tell you, that's one of the more impressive ways right there, and against a very tough Tyree Cannell going to Michigan.
First team All-Ohioan. But Tyree Cannell says this is like trying to tackle a ghost. Guest hit in the backfield, can't get away this time. And they turn him back, and it will be 4th down and 2 for St. Ed.
Take a look at the replay here, just kind of inside hand up, great penetration. Again, that's our guy Landers, 52. He's the one that causes that, stops Guest in his tracks, and you know, that's the key. You know, we saw it on the trying to get to the outside. It pulled him up, turned him back into the defense right there. Guest just didn't have any momentum going forward before the pursuit took over.
4th down, Keene to punt. Short boot. And it will be down at the 27-yard line. We've got a timeout here in Columbus. St. Edward on top by 3, but the Wayne Warriors will have the football when we come back. Home to one of the most dynamic economies in the U.S. with 5 urban entertainment districts, a fabulous food and lively art scene, sports, shopping, and much more. Columbus is one of the best cities to live, work, and play. Visit lifeandcbus.com. The Wayne Warriors from Huber Heights go back to work offensively. Just under 6 minutes to play. They'll start out from their own 27-yard line. And Greg Schrader, who was dinged up a little bit on that last series, is back in the game in the backfield with Dimitri Trice. Pressure this time. Trice gets away, but not much there. He was lucky to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Troy Henderson was right there to bring him down, but there was a lot of pressure coming early.
See the pressure as time wants to get the ball out to the perimeter. But
Adam Thompson and Michael O'Malley, the defensive ends, they met at the quarterback.
I'm glad you mentioned the O'Malley brothers. They really set the toughness for that front.
Trice trying to get it to Wagner, but it's incomplete. He was covered by David Dowell.
Take a look at Trice setting up. Good coverage. Good at the point of the catch right there, being physical, and that's great timing right there. And hey, that's taking a chance as a cover guy. You got to make plays. Can't be afraid to be physical there.
3rd and 10. Trice, lots of time, incomplete. Well, I tell you what, Chad Swanson, he wants a flag because he felt like his right arm was being held. He only put one hand up to try and catch the ball. We can't believe it. Let's take another look. Hard to tell, but no flag called. And a 3 and out. Here comes the rush. He gets it away, but not a good punt. Off the side of his foot. And that's only going to go about 17 or so yards. Well, St. Edward takes over now offensively, and Cole Guest is having a big game early for St. Edward. Not a big guy at 5'9", but man, when he gets through the hole, he can absolutely motor. Sprinter speed. Watch this. He's like a racehorse. All right, 1st and 10 for the Eagles now. Keene gives it to Guest. He is hit in the hole and stopped. Jordan Davis in there to wrestle him to the turf after a short gain.
St. Ed certainly wants to take advantage of this field position they have. You know, throughout the year, they've had tremendous field position. Starting at their own 38, only having to travel 62 yards to score. It's a great advantage for any offense.
Again, it's Cole Guest trying to turn the corner. Good pickup. A few yards shy of the first. Hasn't been all smooth sailing for St. Edward this year. They had back-to-back losses to Cincinnati Elder and to Bergen Catholic. That second loss, they were in New Jersey, but after that game, they were sitting at 3-2 at the halfway point of the regular season. And Coach Fanati told us, you know what, it was a good, long bus ride home. Breaking it into the clear, down the sideline, and almost taking it the distance was Andrew Dowell. Boy, when Guest has needed a breather, Dowell has stepped right in, and they haven't skipped a beat.
Take a look at it. There's counter tray, the guard tackle pull, and what impresses me there is the patience for letting that play develop, and then when he gets downfield, he has the patience and the vision to see where he wants to take that football. Next thing you know, that's close to a 20-yard gain.
Dowell stays in. Danny O'Malley in there at the fullback spot. They give it to Dowell again, and he's hit the backfield this time, and he is crunched for a loss of a yard. But going back to that point I was making about Coach Fanati saying that second of back-to-back losses they suffered, he said it gave this team a lot of time to sit on the bus ride home and talk about where are we, what do we need to do. He said it's a very introspective group. And that takes me back to a year ago at the end of the season. He said, we locked him in a room and said, you guys figure this out. What do you want to do to get better, to get to where we want to be, which is in the state championship game? Obviously, they figured it out. Dowell spins away, but can't get going. We're going to lose another yard maybe here. Boy, the red shirts just rising up to meet him at the point of attack.
Well, I noticed this earlier. When you get into the red zone, both defenses, Wayne's and St. Edwards, they just stiffen up and they come to play. You take a look at that. Look at a whole host of red shirts showing up. Serious penetration right there by Landers. I mean, you know, defensively, he's playing a whale of a game. But to your point about, you know, a couple losses, I think you learn much more from losses than wins, and that also speaks to the maturity of this group, rebounding from that, getting in together and handling it themselves.
They need the 5-yard line on 3rd down. Keene under pressure. He is going to be sacked. Michael Tolliver, the defensive end.
This is a speed rush by Michael Tolliver, and he dips that left shoulder and makes it, and then leverages himself to the quarterback. That's a big-time play right there. Should make the highlight film on what you want to teach young pass rushers. He leverages himself against Turner.
Keene did a heck of a job to hang on to that football, because as you noticed on the rush, when Tolliver came in with the chop, the ball popped loose, and Brett Keene was able to get his left hand on it and keep it from bouncing onto the turf. So clock running down to a minute and a half, and with 1 second left on the play clock, Coach Ferrari calls a timeout. Ball rests at the 24, so it would be a 42-yard try from here. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
Well, guys, I can tell you one thing. It's not raining, but the wind down here is something else, and I think that's part of the discussion on the St. Ed sideline. If you look at the American flag down here in the north end, it's going one way. But then if you look at the flags on the goalpost, they're going another way on the other side. Something else about that bus trip you guys were talking about with the St. Ed's losses. Something else Coach Fanati told me. He said, we got a lot of guys that are getting looked at by a lot of colleges. And he goes, and that was really just a coming to, who are we really going to be? Are we going to be a bunch of guys and characters that go off to school and not accomplish what we want to accomplish? Or are we going to be a team that accomplishes something for the second time ever at this school? And it seems they've picked up since that Week 4 loss.
Yeah, well, and they're trying to become only the third school in Ohio to win the basketball state championship and the football state championship in the same calendar year. So a lot on the line here for St. Edward. 4th down, and they will try the field goal. John Patrick Walton from 41 yards away. And they get a jump. Wow. So it's going to give them a shot to make it a little shorter of a kick.
They ought to focus on the holder on this. I saw this earlier. I thought Wayne committed this, an unsportsmanlike conduct where they drew the Eagles off. I think they're talking about whether the holder had something to do with this.
Well, they are taking a long discussion now. Now they're going to put it in. It's going to go against the Eagles.
Dead ball. Ball start on the offensive line. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Take another look. Watch the center. Watch the center's head.
It's not so much the center, it's the holder, and he's barking out those signals and making the movement that's drawing them off.
So now they're going to still try it, this time from 46. So they've got the confidence in Walton's leg. It is short. Won't get there. So 1:30 left, and an opportunity now for Wayne as they trail by 3. I mean, that's a big 5 yards, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Obviously, they were trying to steal 5 and move it 5 yards closer, but the call went against them. They'll take over at the 20. That's another advantage in high school, unlike the pros where you lose, you get at the spot of the kick if it's no good. Pump fake, Trice down the middle, and it's tipped away. And if it wasn't, that might have gone for a big play.
Well, Trice is doing a great job of looking everybody off, coming back to his primary. You saw him looking left. Oh, excellent job by Sadu right there. I'm sorry, not Sadu.
Cal Reynolds.
Cal Reynolds, defensive lineman, sure. Getting that time, and he knows he can't get to the quarterback, so time his jump and get the tip.
2nd and 10, 1:25 to go. Wayne has all 3 of their timeouts left. They give it to Schrader, nothing. The Eagles defense able to stop.
44.
Which one?
See right there, just kind of inside trap. Good close on the football. Right there down the line, you see Mike O'Malley protecting the cutback. Very disciplined defense. Got a 3rd and long. That's what they want. You're thinking with 56, and they've got 2 timeouts, or 1 timeout left. Hey, you make them punt, you'll get the ball back.
Now they've got to call timeout because they weren't on the same page offensively.
Timeout.
I guess I was a little surprised that St. Edward wouldn't take a timeout there when it was about 30 seconds ago, because if you stop them on 3rd down, you get a good chance at a punt return, good field position, chance to maybe extend the lead. Of course, the risk you run is if they convert, then all of a sudden you've given them extra time to work with.
But I think they did the wise thing here, waiting for 4th down. And, if you know they're not going to get the 1st down, it really doesn't matter whether you take it on 3rd or 4th.
Well, the Wayne Warriors, this is how they got here in terms of the playoffs after that Week 10 loss, regular season loss to Centerville, and just an awful night in terms of rain and wind. They put that behind them quickly. They beat Elder soundly, 42-13. Dublin Kaufman they beat in a shootout, drubbed Lakota, and then toppled Cincinnati Molars. So they have not had an easy path by any means to get to this championship game.
You talked about the 2 losses for St. Edwards, and we touched upon it briefly. That one loss in Week 10 against Centerville cost them the conference championship with the Wayne Warriors. You said, you talked about that, an eye-opener. That was exactly what we needed, Coach Minton said.
3rd and 9. Trice going to be sacked. Oh, big hit. Pummeled in the backfield by Troy Dupree.
Whoa, this is huge. Now you've already got 1 punt blocked. All right, now he could be coming at it.
St. Edward.
Here, take the sack and just, wow. Look at that guy, Dupree, getting in there, and he played. I'm talking to Tom Cousineau. He says, you're going to love this guy. Look at that. He just, he sees his opportunity for the sack, and he takes it. He's an aggressive player, has the right temperament to be a linebacker. Tom Cousineau, there you see Tom Cousineau in the glasses. He says he can't say enough about this kid. But now you get the big sack and your timeout. And again, I point to the special teams. You've already blocked 1 punt. They may come after it here. If not, you got a max protect. You might get it with a fair catch. You might get that ball about maybe inside the 40.
There's former Browns linebacker Tom Cousineau talking with Dupree, who had a big sack now, and 39 seconds to go. Kyle Hegedus back to return.
And he's standing right at the 40 up. But one thing Wayne has in their favor, and they've got a pretty good wind at their back.
I think the official's trying to get more time on the clock.
I'll get it.
That'd be a huge plus. For St. Ed's.
He wants 2 seconds, I'm told. There we go. 2 seconds back on the clock. So now we're ready. 41 seconds on the clock. And Frank, I'm curious to see what this punt is going to do in the wind.
They're coming. They've got 10 on the line of scrimmage. They may be coming. They may not be coming, but they're giving the impression they will.
Hegedus lets it go, and it'll roll dead at the 48-yard line. So they went after it, but they couldn't get there. And a nice job, really nice job to get the punt off by Caleb Davis. He got no time wasted.
And not only did he get the punt off, but he got a nice kickoff too. Got that ball beyond midfield.
And 29 ticks of the clock remain. No timeouts left for St. Edward. But again, for those not aware, in high school football, a first down will stop the clock momentarily until they reset the down marker. So it gives you time to perhaps move the ball downfield even when you don't have any timeouts left. But what Brett Keene cannot afford is a sack. He guns it. And Dow is short of the first down.
Got to clock it.
Clock running. 15 seconds to go. He will clock it with 12 actually on the clock.
So let's see if those 2 seconds matter. You're 12 seconds now. Oh, we got a flag on the play. I'm sorry. Nope, no flag.
3rd down. Incomplete. And it will be 4th with 9 seconds to go.
And back with the medium route right there, about 10 yards. Dowell's just not able to hold on to it. He knows it.
Now here's a case where you might as well just try one of those one-on-one matchups on the outside and See if your guy can go up and win it.
Well, you got to certainly get the ball downfield, maybe near the end. You got to get it near the sidelines.
And you got to have time to throw it too. Keene guns it. It's caught, but time's going to run out.
Well,
unless they can hurry to the line.
First down. You can clock this. You get another play.
And they do. They do effectively get up quickly. Still they'll have one shot left with 3 seconds. That was a big hit Dowell took right to the square of his back. Here's the catch. Watch him just get drilled right in the back.
You'll feel that tomorrow morning.
So now here's your play for the end zone for Keene. 3 receivers to the near side, 2 to the top of the formation. He guns it deep. Incomplete. He was looking for Crawford, who took a big hit in the end zone. But we have reached the end of the first half. A hard-hitting rock'em sock'em game developing in the second quarter after a wide-open, wild first quarter. 17-14, St. Edward leads it at the break as we take another look.
Take a look at this.
Play.
This is a big hit and a big chance, too. You know, they've got the targeting rule right there. That's definitely helmet to helmet.
So St. Edward leads the field with a 3-point lead at halftime. And the Wayne Warriors wait for the Eagles to exit before they head to the locker room, because the 2 teams have to cross paths here in Columbus. Let's go down to Andre Knott, who's with St. Edward head coach Rick Finati.
Coach, 3-point lead here at the half, just to talk about your offense and what you were able to do so far.
I mean, we were able to get some things going, but we got to stop the negative plays. We got to get better at first down, and we got to be able to establish that run. We got to go in at times, but we got to be more consistent with it.
Defensively, you only give up the 1 touchdown down here, and I know you gave up the special teams play. Happy with your defense or need more?
No, we need more on all 3 phases. We got to do a better job of getting the ball in the end zone. We got to do a better job of keeping them out of the end zone on special teams and also on defense. So second half, this is what everybody has worked for. Every rep in the weight room, every gasser, every little thing that they've ever done comes to now.
Absolutely. Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck in the second half.
Thanks, Andre.
All right, back to you, Matt.
Can't ask for anything more. This game's still wide open, still very much up for grabs. The Division I state championship game. Stay tuned. Chud, Beanie, and the coach will keep you entertained at halftime.
The Division I state championship, it's a good one. 17-14, St. Edward in the lead over Wayne as we have 1 half to go, and then we'll find out who the D1 state champion will be. Hi everyone, welcome to the Hyundai Studios in downtown Cleveland. Dave Chudowski here, the running back, Chris Beanie Wells, the coach, Bill Powers. Guys, it's another good one. I mean, we had a couple blowouts there, but we're back to this competitive football. And Coach, we have maybe an instant classic down the line. First quarter, couldn't catch our breath, but it'll get a little bit, second quarter, things toned down a little bit.
I think it's like a heavyweight fight. They both landed some punches early, then they felt each other out in the second round, and we're going to go to the championship rounds in the second half. And tell you what, both teams have incredible athletes. This is going to be fun to watch.
It was like a track meet there, Beanie, in the first quarter.
Oh, there's no question about it. Up and down the field, up and down the field. This game has lived up to its billing. It's as advertised with the athletes on both sides of the ball, and it's definitely reminded me of that 2010 game.
And you really look at it, and I mean, I look at my card as I write down the highlights, and it's just filled with pivotal plays. We've seen pivotal plays go in each direction for both teams.
There's no doubt about it. Seeing the run game take over as well as they did for St. Ed's, and seeing the run game for Wayne. They've been a team all year long that haven't ran the ball well all year, and today they're getting it done.
And the thing about big games like this, you always have the change of direction, the quick change, the kickoff return, the interceptions. When you have this many athletes on the field, you're going to have a lot more of those kinds of plays.
All right, well, let's take a look at the first half highlights. There's plenty to get to, and it starts out, Beanie, you got to love that. The 1-yard run by Andrew Dowell to get into the end zone.
On the goal line when it's block for 0, you have to get 2 yards, and he did.
And that makes it 7-0, but St. Ed's makes a mistake here. Brett Keane intercepted by Mike Warden, and this changes the pace of the game, Coach. It could have been 14-0 there.
Absolutely, and look at this. They capitalized on it. They come down the field, bam, touchdown to the big guy.
Ahmad Wagner, 11-yard touchdown to tie it up at 7. Beanie, what a catch, one-handed.
Oh, man, this kid is a beast. No wonder he's going on to play basketball, but I'm sure he's going to second guess that, and Coach Ferns is going to be at it.
Yeah, a lot of people probably want him on the football. Up next, be our guest. Be our guest. Put your legs to the test. Cole Guest, 78 yards. This kid's special. You talked about him before the game.
He is a beast. When the team needs him the most, he puts him on his shoulders and he goes.
14-7 St. Ed's, but hey, it's that Wagner guy, Coach. How about this? Look at the way he just waits for the opening. Gone. 90 yards. It's Wagner. Touchdown.
And that's what we said. Stars being stars, making star plays. And that right there is that's what we're talking about right there.
And that tied the game up at 14. And that was all in the first quarter, everybody. Second quarter, as I mentioned earlier, a little more laid back as we only had a field goal. And St. Ed's with the 3 points lead 17-14. As you look at the stats there, 251 total yards for St. Ed's. That's kind of what jumps out there. And the penalties for Wayne, that's got to get better for them here in the second half. We have to take a timeout here on the halftime show. 17-14, the Eagles in the lead. But boy, we still have another half to go. And coming up next, Dr. Dan Ross, the commissioner, with Matt Underwood. We'll see you after this timeout.
We're at halftime here at Ohio Stadium in Columbus. The Division I state championship game, very entertaining thus far. St. Edward leading at 17-14. And up here in our television booth, I'm happy to be joined now by the commissioner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association, Dr. Dan Ross. Thanks for being with us. Well, I know there was a lot of talk, and certainly it's not an easy decision when you've got to move an event like the state football championships from the Canton and Massillon communities down here to Columbus. But boy, I have to say it's been a lot of fun. What's been the feedback you've been getting so far?
Actually, the feedback, especially from the kids and the coaches, has been exquisite. They love being here, but I don't think that we can have a state tournament, whether it's Stark County or here, and not have it be an exquisite event, because we have such great facilities, great venues, great communities that support high school sports, that we can move it, and I believe we don't lose a thing.
You know, one of the things that I think people were concerned about was, in that cavernous stadium, you're not going to have 100,000 people. Won't it feel empty? I remember Jeff Jones, the coach at Whitehall. He played here in 1984 against Steubenville. He said there were 10,000 people here, and he said it was the loudest place he'd ever been in his life. And I get the same feeling that the atmosphere, really, even with all the empty seats in the upper deck, has been pretty good.
It has been. On Thursday evening, the Athens and Toledo Central Catholic game, we were on the field, and I know that was that 56-52 ball game. You couldn't hear yourself even talk to anyone down there. So I think that that's really been a non-issue, and for the kids having the opportunity to be here and play with the atmosphere that's here, it's been very, very positive experience.
Commissioner Ross, I know people want to know about the future of the state football championships in terms of where they'll be played. What can you tell us beyond this year?
Well, we the second year this contract with Ohio State will be next year, so we will be here next year.
Okay.
The question mark became, because of the construction at Fawcett, what happens in 2016? We'll be having a conversation with Columbus about 2016, but we wanted to get through 2014, go through it for the first time because it's been 25 years, and see how it works, and I think everybody's been pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, there's a lot of great things happening in Canton, Ohio with the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and it's going to be great when they get all that construction done.
I was going to say, when you look at that, the venues and just being in and around those facilities, we are so blessed in this state to have the opportunity to participate.
Great to have options, absolutely.
It most certainly
Thanks for your
is.
time. Great event as always.
Thank you for your care and support for high school sports.
We love it. We do it for free. Actually, Frank and I do it for free. Thanks to Commissioner Ross for being here. Stay tuned. Halftime festivities continue in a moment. Trice launching it for the end zone for Wagner. Touchdown! A one-handed over-the-shoulder catch by Ahmad Wagner. And he's showing why Iowa can't wait to get him on the basketball floor next year.
Well, he might go and play basketball in college, but I think there's a lot of coaches out there that would like to see him on the football field. Wow, what a grab by Wagner there for Wayne to get a touchdown there. St. Ed's up 17-14 here at halftime. Dave Chudowski back with you here in the Hyundai studio. Beanie Wells, Coach Bill Powers. Let's get right to it here and break down the first half. And let's start, though, on the St. Ed's side of the ball and offensively in Cole Guest. And we talked about him a lot on the pregame show. And if you didn't know about him before today, boy, you really know about him now, Beanie. I mean, this kid's special.
Oh, he's very special. He's a fast, quick guy. As we've seen, this guy can take it the distance. He's over 100 yards, almost probably going to get to that 200-yard mark the way it's looking today.
There's the numbers there, 16 carries, 140 yards. Coach, an average of 8.8. You know, when he gets out in the open field, it's goodbye. The guy's got speed. He can break tackles. And talk about the defense there, what happens and how that happens.
I'll tell you, when you got receivers like that they have on the outside, they slid their free safety over to a twins on the offensive right side, so there was nobody in the middle of the field. The minute he broke through, he was gone. There was nobody there to get him.
We're seeing a lot of great running backs this weekend, Beanie, but we're also seeing a lot of good defense. And let's talk about the St. Ed's defense. And when you really think about it, you know, they gave up that kick return. Mm-hmm. That's on special teams. That's not defense. And the other Wayne touchdown happened after a turnover. And, you know, they didn't hold them. But the bottom line is, I think the Ed's D is pretty much having its way.
Yeah, they're listening to my keys. They're getting after the quarterback twice. They're not letting him get going. They're not letting him throw the ball. They're all over him today. And you can, it's evident right now. You can tell that the way they're stopping their wide receivers in their pass game.
Yeah, and they're shutting down the running game. There's no running game whatsoever, and they're bringing. But the one time they had the big run is when they blitzed and they had cover zero. Mm-hmm. If you're going to play cover zero, you're going to give up big runs.
What kind of adjustment do you make in the second half if you're Wayne?
First thing, we were talking earlier, I said I exploit mismatches a little bit. The DBs at Eds are very fast, but they're not big. You need to get Wagner one-on-one. If you got to go with trips here and put him in the boundary, so be it. Take advantage of that. The other thing is, get to quick hitters. You have to do quick hitters up the middle because that once you pop three, like we said, with cover zero, there's nobody in the middle of the field and just take off.
In the second half, Beanie, would you expect Wagner to be able to get things done like he was able to do a little bit in the first half? Coach just alluded to him. How do you get him more open, get him in space, and get him involved?
By hitting him with the pop passes, sending him downfield on the fade. Nobody, and I mean nobody on this field has the size that this kid has at the wide receiver position. So no one can jump with him. He's a basketball player. I'm sure he has one of the largest verticals out there on the field. So throw him the ball, throw him up in the air, and get him in space.
Yeah, I mean, he only has the 3 receptions, Coach.
Yeah, that's a great point about the fade. I'm not a big fan of the fade in high school football, but when you're 6'6" and you got a defensive back who's maybe 5'9", you got to throw the fade up to help the side. That's a great point on that one right there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how Wayne is able to do offensively against this Ed's defense. I mean, I really think that's going to be the big key as we go down the line. I mean, clearly they have to find a way to stop Guest, though, as well. I mean, how does Wayne defensively prepare now in the second half? What adjustments do they need to make?
Only thing right now that I can see is bring a guy up in the box. You know, bring another guy in the box and try to stop this run game because he's getting it done. He's probably going to, if they win this game, it's going to be because of Guest and what he's done throughout the whole game.
And they have that guy right there, number 2, Tyree Cannell. He's the Michigan recruit. The kid, you saw him. He brought the wood in the first half. When he hits you, he lets you know. I bring him up in the box like Bino was talking about and let him lay the wood to that kid a little bit. And guess what? He might slow down a little bit.
And we've seen turnovers play a factor in the first half here, and Wayne going for it on 4th down and not able to get it. So there's going to be momentum plays and shifts in the second half that's going to decide this.
Oh, there's no question. The big thing for Wayne that they're going to have to do, they've been terrible with getting penalties all year long, having 96 penalties for almost 900 yards, and today they have 5 for 40. They got to slow down and play disciplined football. Make sure you don't have those guys chewing at the bits, going after each other after the plays, and just settle down and play discipline.
Now, one of those penalties, actually, you could categorize as a turnover. Eds was lining up the punt on 4th and 4. They jump offside. They get a first down. That's essentially a turnover. And that's the mistakes you're talking about. They got to cut those down.
Okay, St. Ed's, what's the biggest key you see for them, Coach?
I think right now defensively they have to be a little less aggressive. They got to. I mean, their defense is doing good, but be careful giving up the big play.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I guess you want to stay aggressive, but don't leave yourself vulnerable in the middle of the field because teams will exploit that eventually. And I think offensively they got to just keep doing what they're doing. You know, give the ball to Guest, and eventually you're gonna. You know, it's a war of attrition. You're gonna wear them down.
It really was like we saw 2 different games. One in the first quarter, one in the second quarter. Only 3 points in that second quarter after a track meet broke out in the first quarter. So we'll see what happens. There's your halftime scores. St. Ed's 17, Wayne 14. Ohio Stadium, the home of all the games this weekend. One more half to go. The Eagles ready, we're ready. We'll see you post-game. Underwood, Stams, not next.
Sports Time Ohio's coverage of the Football State Championships is brought to you by Time Warner Cable. Enjoy the most sports on the most devices, no matter where you are, only with Time Warner Cable. By Panini's, home of the famous overstuffed sandwich, and by Wayside Furniture. Better furniture, price lower. 17-14 as we get ready for the third quarter here in Columbus. The Eagles lead the Warriors. Matt Underwood, Frank Stams with you once again here. You know, this game is kind of playing out the way we thought it would be. Very good defense on both sides of the ball. Big plays dominated the first quarter, but then the defense has started to settle in and find their footing.
Yeah, absolutely, especially in the red zone. I thought even though there's some red zone scoring, there could be more, but defense is certainly settling in for sure.
Boy, how about Cole Guest, the sprinter speedster for the St. Edward Eagles out of the backfield? He's been able to get up the field in a hurry.
Yeah, he certainly has, and we talked about vertical seams, and he's been taking advantage of those, and there you see an outside run to start the game. But look at the explosion, the vision, and he knows it. He sees the acceleration. Boy, he can take it the distance as we're watching.
And then, of course, for the Wayne Warriors, their big play guy is Ahmad Wagner, the 6'6" wide receiver. He's made some catches in traffic, in the end zone, one-handed TD grab right here. But the return game was something we didn't necessarily expect to see.
No, it didn't. I didn't expect the score to be this close, and it's because of that special team score by Ahmad Wagner. The score is what it is, and you mentioned his catching ability. He's the go-to guy. You look at the first half stats, right along with what I was thinking. Eds is out rushing them. You know, the passing, they're out passing them. Total plays is to their advantage. You know, it's right along what I'm thinking, right along what I thought would happen in this football game.
Yeah, those numbers would indicate maybe St. Edward would be dominating this game a little bit more than they are, though.
Right, they would, but it's because of the special team score is that we have a 3-point ball game.
Down to Andre Knott. He's got some thoughts on the first half.
You know, Coach Minton must have looked at those numbers with you guys. I was just talking to him, and he said, look, we've got to keep our offense on the field. He goes, we can't go 3 and out anymore. We have to find a way to be on the field more because he says it helps their defense and their offense. Now, defensively, he was pretty happy with how they've gone against St. Ed's. He said, we gave up that 80-yard pass or 80-yard run. He goes, but otherwise, he goes, he felt like they've played defensively better against this team than anyone else has. So offensively, he just wants to move the ball, move the chains. He says when they get in this red area, they've got to pick up 6, but he feels good about where his team is at. He says physically they've been able to match what they're getting from the St. Ed side.
You know, of course, St. Edward has that tremendous defense. The one thing that we haven't necessarily seen a lot of, we saw the touchdown pass to Wagner in the red zone where they got him in a one-on-one matchup, but I think if they can get him more on the outside, not necessarily in traffic underneath, but more outside where they can take advantage of that big size of his, that might be where they can have some success.
Without a doubt. And if they can give the quarterback some time, and I think they can, and get him downfield and maybe get a situation where a defensive back is getting turned around, that 6'6" frame is going to come into play. But I'm glad Andre mentioned about the toughness, and that was one of our keys. They got to play tough all 4 quarters, and so far they have.
Well, Greg Schrader's a tough runner. He stands in that backfield with Demetric Trice, and he's gained some tough yardage. And he also burst one up into the open. Thought he was going to go all the way on this, but he got run down by the speedier secondary of St. Edward. But obviously they're going to need him, and there have been some hard hits in this game too.
And that's going to continue to pick up here in the second half. They're going to continue to power and hit hard. You look for maybe turnovers being created, but you see Greg Schroeder right there showing the toughness. Came out after that hit we saw there, but he's ready to go.
Now Schrader and the Warriors going to need a big second half if they want to take home the big prize here in Division I. Let's take a look back at our Wayside Furniture keys to the game, Frank.
Well, we talked about create the vertical run for St. Edwards, and they've done that. 161 yards rushing the ball. And you saw the big run by Guest, and then Wayne, early rhythm and pace, and I think they did that. They came out and executed very well on that first drive, and they had, you know, you see the 14 points, 123 yards, but that'll go a long way. That early rhythm, that early pace, that early execution go a long way towards their confidence here, you know, in the second half.
Well, the fans, it's been a great crowd, I have to admit. Both teams are well represented by their fans here tonight. They have both been into it. We've been seeing a lot of cheering on both sides. Remember, for those of you, if you joined us late, these two teams met 4 years ago in the state championship game. St. Edward won it. That's when Braxton Miller was the quarterback for the Wayne Warriors. And Miller and Wayne scored late to take the lead, but St. Edward was able to come back and win in the final moments. And it was a game that Jay Minton said, it took me a lot of time to get over that. And he said, it stuck in my craw for a long time, but I realized in order to grow, you got to let go at some point. We're underway here in the third quarter. Line drive kick taken by the up back at the 30-yard line. And Wilcox on the move. He gets out to the 40. Actually, that wasn't Wilcox. That was number 9, Marcus Hood, on the return. But he did a nice job trying to get some positive yardage on the short kick. Here comes Demetric Trice. They call him Meach. That's his nickname, and that's how Coach Minton refers to him. He says he's actually probably been a little more productive at the quarterback spot than even Braxton Miller was. Hand off to Schrader. He bursts through a hole. Still on his feet up close to the 50-yard line before he's hit down hard by Sean Crawford.
Take a look at this off the counter. He gets behind his guard tackle, pull, nice seal to the inside, and then the spin downfield. That's in that, you don't really appreciate it out of the end zone look, but that spin picks him up another 4 or 5 yards.
Brandon Brony, Evan Canale really opening up the hole. Terrific job of blocking. Second and short. Schrader coming near side. And he's over the 50-yard line and into St. Edward territory for a first down.
2 plays, first down out of the rush. Just good hard running right here by Schrader. Gets it to the outside, same thing, that's designed. Now you see the tackle coming around and hooking the defensive end. That play was designed to hit to the outside. Sometimes it hits inside, sometimes it hits outside.
From the 47-yard line of the Eagles. Trice, all kind of time. Now the pocket breaks down. He scrambles upfield. Oh, man, big block at the end of that play. And that was Chad Swanson who put a lick on Troy Henderson. I don't think Henderson was one of those deals where he just turned his head around and Swanson was standing there waiting to deliver the hit.
Got to keep your head in a swivel out there, but you see right there, I thought that was pretty good collapse on the pocket by the front 4. Take a look at the hit there at the end. Really catches Troy Henderson following the ball and not getting his eyes downfield, but you see the elusive and the athleticism.
Second down, Trice gunning it. Incomplete. That's just terrific coverage. And once again, that's Antonio Butler. And he's able to get his hand in there. It's a thing you notice about these St. Edward defensive backs. Obviously well-schooled, but they've had pretty good coverage for the most part. Third down and 6. Trice is sacked. Michael O'Malley, the junior defensive end. And see, here's where that secondary St. Edward pays such dividends, because he wants to throw it, they're not open. And as he's trying to go through his second and third looks, you just can't take that much time against this kind of a pass rush. Third sack of the night for the Eagles. Good punt by Caleb Davis. On the return, not much doing there. Kyle Hegedus on the return. And the Eagles now go back to work offensively. St. Edward was down to Olentangy Liberty in that game, 12-7. And from that point on, they scored the next 117 points. Liberty didn't score again. They blanked Westerville Central, and they had Hudson down 42-0 before Hudson scored 14 in the fourth quarter. That's how dominant this defense can be at times. Cole Guest turns the corner and picks up 6.
Outstanding job by left tackle 58 Andrew Turner, running his feet, getting downfield. Right there, the block. Oh, excuse me. That's Nick Hupka right there, getting downfield, and that's the key. You want to create that vertical separation between the backers and the defensive line, giving him those vertical seams.
On the bootleg, nice catch. Short of the first down, but a terrific job to lay out by Frank Guide. Keene, it's on a bootleg, but on a bootleg, there's nobody to block that guy on the end. So as he turns around, he's got to get rid of it quickly.
Well, there's naked boots, and there's one that leads, and there you see the naked boot, and then Frank Guide, yeah, the defensive end does a nice job of making him pull up. That's Chris Otto, making him pull up, throw that ball before he wants to, and disrupting that timing. I got to believe that leaves him short of the first down. All right, now starting the second half, Wayne is making the Eagles earn it.
They've only got 2 seconds to get the play off. They do on 3rd and short. First down and more. Guest has the first down out to the 38-yard line. Boy, funny how that could happen. It looked like maybe disaster for St. Edward as they had to hurry to the line of scrimmage and try to snap it before getting a penalty. And then what do you know? Guest burst through a quick hole. Good blocking by John Hupka. Junior guard able to turn his man inside, and Guest danced outside through the hole and a first down.
Even though that play was successful for the Eagles, it's still, they limited the big play capability of Guest. They did a nice job of tackling in the secondary or using the sidelines as the 12th man.
Let's go down to Andre Knott.
You know, something, guys, that's a little bit different that St. Ed's doing that last play. They closed up the splits. Every time Brett Keene has gone under center, the splits are tighter, so the running backs got a different way to kind of run against what they usually have right now in the shotgun.
Interesting. Guest, another big hole up over the 40-yard line. Good for 3 yards. Greg Schrader in on the stop.
Well, to Andre's point, the splits can be deceiving. Sometimes some teams will shorten up the splits and just wedge block it up front. Some will shorten up the splints and condense the defense to get outside.
Guest turns the corner, but a short gain on the play. And it will bring up 3rd down and about 3. 3.5 maybe. Here's a look at what St. Edward has done so far in the game. 27 plays on the ground, 20 in the air.
Now this is where St. Edwards throughout the season has been outstanding. Not on 3rd down, certainly they have. It's in 3rd quarter scoring. They've outscored their opponent 123 to 13.
Keene throws it deep. Incomplete. He was trying to get it to Dow, but just a little too long. And now 4th down coming up, and the punting unit out for the Eagles.
Take a look at it. They're going downfield. Get some pressure again. That little pressure right there shows up in Keene's vision, and I think that disrupts the timing. Here he lets it sail a little bit beyond the receiver's arms, beyond Dow's arms, and they don't convert on 3rd down. I bring up that stat about 3rd quarter scoring because that's the challenge that Wayne has in front of him. And so far, they've met that challenge here close to midfield.
Brett Keene to punt it away. Line drive punt. And it takes a Huber Heights Wayne roll back to the 35-yard line. They'll have good field position to start this next drive. It's still St. Ed 17, Wayne 14 with 8 minutes left to go in the 3rd. Want to watch this game again? With Time Warner Cable, you can enjoy sports better. Look for this and other high school regular season and state championship games only on Time Warner Cable Local On Demand, Channel 411. Pause, fast forward, rewind, even do instant replays only from Time Warner Cable. Enjoy better. The famed Horseshoe, Ohio Stadium here in Columbus, and what a backdrop it has been for this state championship weekend. Alongside Frank Stams, I'm Matt Underwood with Andre Knott down on the sidelines. This is the Division I state title tilt, and it has been a good one so far.
Coming out of that break, we heard some sound bites. coming from the Wayne huddle there, and I heard the coaches saying, here's where we take charge of the game, right here.
They got their opportunity.
Yep, got to get that momentum. Take the lead.
Schrader with the carry. Nothing there. That Eagles defense just stout. Troy Dupree in there along with Danny O'Malley. Cal Reynolds right there to meet him in the hole.
Great job by Cal Reynolds, extending his arms, getting off the block, then getting to the ball. You see Danny O'Malley too fighting. You see O'Malley's feet. They're on the offensive side of the line of scrimmage.
2nd down and 10. Trice. He's under duress. Throws it incomplete. And it's 3rd and 10.
Again, great job of pressure. You see Mike O'Malley right there, number 47, coming off the edge, forcing Trice out of the pocket. Really, he's got nothing downfield. And as you spoke about, Matt, downfield, the coverage is there. Working well together, both the front and the secondary.
We got around Evan Canale, who's got to try to get a hand on him to give Trice some time on this 3rd down play. Inside handoff, nothing there. Schrader, a short gain, and a punting situation for Wayne. Well, you get an idea of why the St. Edward defense has been so good this year. Wayne coming out fired up. Hey, we're going to take control of the game. We're going to, well, maybe not.
Here, interesting play right there. Kind of inside handoff off the fake pass, but the Eagles were not fooled.
Caleb Davis gets it off. Penalty flag's coming.
It's coming, yep.
And this is going to be a big break for the Wayne Warriors. Sean Crawford was trying to get in there to block it, but Caleb Davis has done a great job all game long of quickly getting rid of the football.
Well, Crawford takes the wrong angle. He's got to take a better angle. Got to take it off the foot of the punter. There he tacks the punter, tacks the man, rather than the launch point. It's a personal foul too.
Yeah, that's the big one, the 15-yarder.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
He knows
First
it.
down Wayne.
Crawford knows it. It's on him. Again, watch the angle. He comes in, tacks the man. You got to take the ball. You're going to block it. They teach you to take it off the foot.
Looked like he wanted to stop Frank, but he was already too far in. Well, he knew it. So, 1st down for Wayne. And thanks to the penalty, they're at the 48 of St. Edward. Wide open man, Wilcox. Down to the 35 and to the 34-yard line. Finally, a little time to throw, and Trice found a wide open receiver.
Scissors on the outside. This does not allow Andrew Dow to close because you saw he had a pattern in front of him and his own man taking the inside receiver to the outside. That limits his ability to close on the receiver. That's the wide open receiver.
Trice wants to run. Inside the 25. He was hit down hard by Crawford. Most important thing for a quarterback when he takes off is securing the football, because he takes a big hit. It's a little loose here, but he was able to wrap it up before Crawford could jar it loose.
No doubt. The Eagles took away the perimeter pass in a hurry, and he, without any hesitation at all, takes it up between the tackles for the first. Big play by the quarterback.
1st and 10 from the 23. High and off the mark, intended for Swanson. He was hit hard. Defensive back down for St. Edward. Looks like a cramping issue.
You see Trice upset with himself. He knows he had a wide open Swanson. He says, that's on me. These kids know when they don't really need coaches to let them know. They know when they make a mistake.
David Dow being looked at on the sideline. He was giving the indication that he had some cramping going on in his legs. So they'll work on him with 5:53 left to go here in the third quarter. It's amazing when you think back to how this game started with the big plays, the special teams up and down the field. It was 14 all after the first quarter, and we've only had one field goal since then.
The game's taken on a life of its own here. It's seen a lot. You've seen some defense, seen some offense, special teams.
David Dow able to get up and walk himself off the field, and we'll get back to action here momentarily. Dimitri Trice, co-offensive player of the year in Division I high school football this year. First team All-Ohioan. Over 3,600 yards passing coming in with 39 touchdowns. He's thrown one touchdown pass today. That went to Ahmad Wagner. Second down and 10 from the Eagles 23. Low snap. Wilcox able to get the football, but not much there. He barely crossed the line of scrimmage.
Take a look at it here. Just kind of cross action in the backfield, trying to freeze the linebackers. But they do a nice job. Low snap or not, I don't think this play is going anywhere. It's good gap control, gap integrity by the defense.
Third down. Trice. Batted away, intercepted. Michael O'Malley has the pick on the deflection. It's the 26th interception of the year for St. Edward, the 16th in their last 7 games.
Well, we thought Ahmad Wagner's touchdown catch in the first half was impressive, one-handing it. Wait till you take a look at Mike O'Malley and what he does here off the tip. Here, good reaction now, get to the ball, tip drill. There's a one-hand, oh, sorry, he gets 2 hands on it, but he keeps it alive with the one hand, comes down with it.
We've got a timeout here in Columbus. St. Edward leading it 17-14 in the third. (17-14) St. Ed's. Still a lot of time and football left to go here. Brett Keene leads the Eagles offense back onto the field. Cole Guest, number 20, in the backfield with him. Actually, Guest is going to come out and flank in a slot receiver spot. Now Crawford coming in motion. He goes into the backfield. And they'll give it to Crawford, and he's got a hole. Dips outside. Got a first down out across the 45-yard line.
Really nothing up the gut for Crawford, but it's a block by the left tackle, Turner. Right there, you see it, and then the stalk block on the outside by Guy that allows Crawford to pick up the yardage that he does. I mean, he's just working horizontally down the line of scrimmage and trying to find some space to run to, and he gets it.
Guest, oh man, does he take a big hit from Guy Victoria. Guy Victoria is getting a lot of looks from the Mid-American Conference, from Toledo, Bowling Green, and Coach Minton really loves the way he fits on their defense. He just came up and smothered Guest. Victoria at 6'3", 230 pounds. Swallowing up Cole Guest at 5'9", $185. Second down and 11. Tipped, incomplete. Frank, is this typical of a good defense where you might take some shots early, but you sort of start to figure things out and you slow the pace of the game down?
Well, I think so. The hardest thing, I think, as a defensive player is you know, like offense, you really find your pace. What you want to guard against is playing to the level of the offense, and I think they picked it up here, both defenses, especially Wayne, really making it a struggle for the Eagles to move the ball.
3rd and long. Keene winds up, throws it deep, but he's hit as he throws, and it's caught! No, dropped it the last moment. Man, it looked like it was going to be a sensational grab by Guy. Simply a jump ball situation there.
Yeah, absolutely. Trying to make a play downfield. Tough catch. It's the hard catch, as they say. He's got the time, delivers it. He's got his hands on it. Boy, does he wish he had that one back. Another look. Good look right there, guys.
Richard Carpenter was about 8 feet in the air, it looked like, jumping up trying to knock it down.
But again, another big stop by the Warriors.
Good punt. I mean, a great punt. This is going to go all the way down to the 1-yard line. How fired up is Brett Keene after that one? Disappointed as a quarterback because you can't move the football, but that might be the play of the game for St. Edward. Who knows?
Certainly in the second half it is. This is a great play in special teams. Take a look at right there, Dupree down there to cover that ball on the 1-yard line. Talk about making them earn it. They've got to go 99 yards. Exceptional play in special teams.
All right, Frank, we talked about how this game started out first quarter, wild, back and forth, up and down the field. Since then, it's been a defensive standoff.
Right.
There's a look in the first quarter, what they had offensively and what they've done since. Well, Wayne is really backed up inside their own 1-yard line. Trice to throw, deep, caught but out of bounds. Wagner made a sensational grab, but he was never in bounds.
Well, a couple of things that speaks to. You're seeing some more defense being played. Take a look at it right here. Throwing from his own end zone. Always a danger for getting Wagner down the sideline. That's what you talked about, Matt. Getting him downfield, getting him on the sidelines, in those one-on-one situations where it's a jump ball situation. Trice thought he had it.
Yeah, because you can't defend against that.
No, that's, yeah.
2nd and 10. Gonna throw it again out of the end zone. Incomplete. Looking for Wilcox. Too much on it. And 3rd and long now.
That's about the 3rd pass that I can remember. Now he's overshooting his receivers. He's got to get on top of that ball and get that ball down over the middle late. That's going to be a problem.
Well, now this is a situation where it may seem ultra conservative, but you need some positive yardage, because if you don't convert here, your punter's going to be standing on the end line with only about 9 yards separating him and the rushers.
Out of his pass situation, he's lost his consistency. 10 of
throws, and it's caught but short of the 1st down.
I started to mention of the play before that, 10 of his last 11 passes were incomplete. There he comes up with a completion, but it's short of the 1st down. They're going to have to punt it away. And because of the great special teams play earlier by the Eagles, they're going to get this ball inside the 50. You see their returner, he's standing on about the 43-yard line of the Warriors. So that shows you how important special teams is.
Kyle Hegedus back to return for the Eagles. Caleb Davis boots it at the 44. Hegedus takes it down to the 34. He returns it 10 yards, and the Eagles have excellent field position now.
But I started to talk about the low scoring and the stat that we put up there and why there hasn't been a ton of yardage. And I think it speaks to 2 things. I think it speaks to the depth of the bigger schools at Division I's. You don't have as many kids, you know, going both ways. So I think, you know, the endurance is better. And also, I think it speaks to the athletes out there on the field. You know, that they're able to, you know, perform better and execute tackles better.
Brett Keene brings Crawford in motion, fakes it to him, keeps it himself. Keene hammered, he's sandwiched down
inside the 35-yard line. Don't look like that. Yeah, Colin Lehman was in there on the stop. Keene looking to the sideline. Clock moving. Down to 3 minutes to play. Less than 10 seconds on the play clock now. Down to 5.
Well, they got to stop it. The official picked the ball up, moved it to the hash.
There were only 2 seconds left on the play clock. Now they reset the play clock to 25. Play action fake, going deep. Overshoots his man. He was looking for Crawford, but he was well covered. Mike Warden was with him stride for stride down the seam. He never really had a chance on this one.
Right, going with the play action, trying to get Mike Warden to bite up on it, and he doesn't. That's a great job of flipping your hips, Michael Warden, and running with this receiver, Crawford.
Third down and 8. Give it to Dowell. Trying to get outside. And he's hit down at the 29-yard line. It will be 4th down and 4.
I can't tell you how impressed I am by the blocking by the receivers. Again, and especially Frank Geib out here, number 2. You're going to see him right there. Look at that seal. And then that blows up number 8 trying to get to the ball. That's Guy Victoria. When you got a guy right there, that interrupts Guy Victoria's path to the ball. He's got to worry about the blocker or your guy in your path.
Andrew Dowell in the backfield with Keene on 4th and 4 from the 29. Caught! First down. Frank Geib, who did a terrific job blocking, he's rewarded with a pass thrown his way, and he hauls it in, and they move the chains.
Execution from the pocket, and nice position by good route by Geib right there, making himself big for the quarterback. That's pitch and catch for the first.
Keene hands it to Guest. Trying to cut outside, but not much there. He was wrapped up by Jordan Davis.
This is getting fun now. Warriors answer the call right here. Then they cut him off. Guest back inside. And look at 1, 2, 3. Guy Victoria is there. Bang. Jordan Davis is there as well. You see him, number 35. Gang tackling the ball, putting him, winning that. Creating a 2nd and 8, 2nd and 9.
Keene. Keene looking at man-to-man coverage in the secondary with 4 wides. They bring pressure. And Guest is smothered in the backfield. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
You got another name stepping up here, Andre Douglas, right there, number 87. So you're getting your whole defense, you're getting your players to make plays. You see the penetration by Landers, and that eliminates the vision by Guest on the front side. So he's got to turn it back into big number 87, Douglas.
3rd and long, under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. Again, he's got 4 receivers. And it would appear he's got man-to-man coverage, and timeout is called with 24 ticks of the clock left here in the 3rd quarter. Play clock was down to 8 seconds.
And Coach Canati says calm down. I think they're not seeing things as clearly on the Eagles side of the football, and they're taking more and more time to get the plays off, because I think what Wayne's doing is confusing them a little bit.
Yeah, they're talking it over with 24 seconds left and a big 3rd down play. Upcoming, St. Edward leading at 17-14. Let's see, the ball rests right now at the 21. So with the wind at his back, or at least it appears to be at his back, they're probably in at least field goal range right now.
Well, I think they take a shot, yeah.
If they don't, that's if they don't pick it up, or if they don't pick up any yardage here.
And what I'm thinking they're talking about right now here is they're trying to figure out what they're going to get from the Warriors, because as we know from the call we had from Coach Finati, they're not sure what they're going to call when they get to the line of scrimmage. And sometimes the offensive linemen don't even know whether it's a pass rush.
Well, there's the numbers on Walton. Being an old quarterback, I'll tell you what I'd be doing. I got one-on-one coverage on the outside. We're going to the end zone, baby. Make a play. Win a one-on-one battle. Let's see what they do on 3rd and 9.
Right now they're seeing, hey, who do we want to throw the ball to?
Wide open, first down, inside the 5-yard line. C.J. Jones, his first catch of the game, and boy, is it a big one.
Take a look at it. Nice job here by Carl Jones getting downfield right there, making himself big on the out. And then great execution. Whatever they saw there, they did it well with their big receiver.
Well, they lost him somehow in the coverage, and now 1st and goal, 2 tight end formation. They give it to Guest. He powers forward. And he stopped inside the 4-yard line. A little slow to get up. And Guest still on the ground. He's now getting to his feet, and now he'll come off. Robert Landers lost his helmet as that play developed. So Guest is out. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. That's going to end the 3rd quarter. St. Edward is on the doorstep, looking for another touchdown. Let's see if they're going to snap it here. It looks like they are. Dowell. He's hit hard. He will not get in. So it will be 3rd down goal to go for St. Edward when we start the 4th quarter here in Columbus. Minutes of football left for these two teams in Division I. Our Panini's game summary.
Right behind you. Right behind you is fine. Mike Abel's there.
St. Edward has dominated the game on the stat sheet, but their lead is only 3 points. However, they're looking at a 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line.
And we mentioned early at the half, right at the beginning, you know, in the 3rd quarter, Eds has outscored their opponent 123-13. Warriors, that was a big quarter for them.
On 3rd and goal, they give it to Dow. He's hit in the backfield, and down he goes. Big stop by Chris Otto. He burst through and wrapped up the ankles of Andrew Dowell. He had nowhere to go.
Another name we call, Chris Otto, playing right there. Look at the penetration on that, making that tackle from his knees, really. Look at that, look at the effort. That's outstanding. And a number of red shirts in the backfield.
Interesting, Frank, no field goal try here. Rick Finati says, let's go for it.
Oh, Coach, got to come away with points.
Well, he may be thinking if we don't convert here, we've still got him pinned deep. The way his defense has been playing. There's a throw into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Frank Guide!
Might have been some miscommunication in the Wayne secondary. They had two receivers, one underneath, one over the top.
Without a doubt, all their execution in the third quarter, now we see beginning the fourth quarter, was miscommunication, routes, rubs by the Eagles receivers. You saw it, Carl Jones on the big convert they had earlier.
John Patrick Walton boots the extra point up and through, and it's 24-14 St. Edward with 11:10 left to go in the game. Sean Crawford came underneath at the goal line. He was covered, but Frank Geib was wide open.
And they've been doing this consistently. Crawford is the outside receiver. He comes in, Geib runs out, the slot receiver runs out, and Wayne is just having a hard time making that adjustment, dropping coverage, and picking up their new number 2 or number 1, whichever they're reading.
Only the third touchdown catch of the year for Geib. But we've called his name more tonight for blocking downfield than we have catching the football, but that just tells you, you keep doing your job, it's not all glory.
Kid's having a heck of a game.
You keep doing your job and you get rewarded, though. He made a big catch on the third down play to keep that drive alive, and then he catches one in the end zone.
You see there, Coach Cousineau, he's coming over there. He's no stranger to this football field, but you know, that's what you see in championship teams. And this game's far from over, but you see guys, I mean, Guy wasn't on our radar coming to this game, but you know, kids like that, they step up, make plays. That's the beauty of it.
Kickoff downfield, Cannell has it at the 16. On over the 30 to the 34. Let's go down to Andre Knott.
You know, it was fourth down on that play, guys, and you'd have to think Coach Finati and that defensive staff for St. Ed's was willing to go for it on fourth down because of how well they've played defensively so far this game. They seem to have a lot of confidence right now when this offense is on the field. We'll see. Wayne is still working on some things. They ran the ball early in the third quarter trying to establish the run game, but at this point in time, you would think they're going to have to start throwing it up to number 18 at some point in time.
Well, their defense has been just suffocating to this point. Since that first quarter, Wayne has not been able to get anything going offensively. On a 1st and 10 now. Trice. Intercept. No, drop. Boy, that ball was pinballing around. It was nearly intercepted and ultimately ends up on the ground. You see Andrew Dowell hopping up and down. He has 3 pick sixes on the year. He was looking for another one.
See Danny O'Malley, nice job of getting your hands up. That's the 3-step drop. The linemen know they can't get to it. So get in his vision, get your hands up, bat it away.
He might be yelling at Michael O'Malley. You bumped into me, or I would have had another one. Batted back to Trice. Can't do that. Can't have 2 forward passes on the same play. Sorry. It looks good. Eventually, I think we have every flag thrown on the field. I think we got all 4 of them. We got 3. I saw Frank Tarkin to do that in Super Bowl 9. And it didn't count then either.
You know, for a moment there, they almost got away with it. But once the 1 flag came, then boy, all the laundry ended up on the field.
Yeah, once he caught the pass, the best he could have done was just try to run with it and make something happen. Now, I think our referee's just making sure with the other officials that there wasn't another infraction that may have occurred, which I think there might have. Because all right, they're still sorting this one out. And we've got our rules official up here with us, Tom Stoughton. So let's see. As soon as we get the call, we'll bring Tom in to see if he can help us out, because there was a lot going on in that play. Let's see.
We have 2 calls on the play. We have a block in the back against Wayne. That penalty is going to be declined. We have an illegal forward pass against Wayne. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Tom Stoughton, our rules official up here in the booth. That was kind of crazy action right there.
Well, it was. You had 2 fouls on the play. You had the illegal forward pass that came back to the quarterback. Well, actually, the quarterback got the pass, and then he made a second pass, which is illegal, which is a loss of down foul. Was the prior down second or third?
Yeah. So that makes it
that's
third.
why they accepted the smaller penalty of 5 yards. The loss of down is what they wanted.
Yes, that's correct.
Third down. And forever. They need the 43-yard line now to convert. Chucks it, completes it. Wagner in the open. Actually, this is LaChristian Smith, the freshman, and he's got a first down. Wow. On 3rd and 20, LaChristian Smith on just a little skinny post route makes the catch and then just gets that big frame moving forward.
And it's the scissors route. Again, the outside receiver coming in, the slot receiver going out. Andre talked about it early on where they wanted to drop that or trade off, all right, or switch so that they can pick up the proper man. They're just not executing fast enough. And Wayne is as guilty as the Eagles are.
Blitz. Trice gets away. Still on his feet. Whale of an effort to avoid a big sack by Demetric Trice. I mean, by rights, he should have been sacked a couple of times, but he got away.
Absolutely, and there's no coverage at all right there. What I mean by that, that's pressure right away before the routes can develop. And gosh, but you talk about the escapability. I mean, that's, as you said, a heck of a job getting away from the rush, throwing the ball out of bounds. Now you only have a 2nd and 10 versus maybe a 2nd and 17 or 20.
2nd and 10. Trice has to escape again. Throws incomplete, nearly picked. Andrew Dowell was right there trying to haul it in.
Andrew Dowell gets a little lucky on a short throw, but that's because of the pressure. You see Dupree right there doing a great job of staying on his feet, getting pressure. But you see the receiver, that's Wagner. He's well behind Andrew Dowell. That ball gets a little loft on it. That's 6 points. That's right, but they got, like you said, Matt, they've got to start getting the ball downfield to their big guy. Starting to lose, down 2 scores, time's starting to work against them.
Demetric Trice, he's got something wrong, whether it's a contact issue or something in his eye. Is he going to have to come out of the game now? Because they stopped the clock. Does he have to come out for a play?
Well, I imagine he would if it's an equipment issue and they can't fix it on the field. He's got to come out and get it fixed. Doesn't seem to be anything physically wrong with him. He needs, what I'm thinking is he needs a new helmet. So some freshman's going to have to give it up.
Frank, let's bring Tom Stoughton in again here. What's the ruling on this?
Well, if it's an equipment issue and it can't be fixed right away on the field, the player has to come out to get the equipment replaced. If it's an injury, he has to go off in any situation.
This is kind of a strange one because it was something that was stuck in his eye, evidently. And that appears to be the call. Tom, they're going to make him come out.
Properly done.
All right, so they've got to go to a backup quarterback now. And who is that they bring in?
Well, the backup, as far as that's LaChristian Smith. It should be.
But he's on the wideout. He's at the top of the formation. They snap it directly. It was Tyree Cannell who ended up taking the direct snap, and he didn't get anything, so it's 4th down.
Well, we're going to get some frustration taking place by the Warriors. It might be a costly one. Going to cost them some field position.
Penalty flag on the field.
Got to keep your poise. Right there, you see it. I think big guy Derek Lewis might have done something that he regrets.
Our officials have been busy all of a sudden here. It will be 4th down and I think 9, but we'll have to see what the penalty is.
Unsportsmanlike. Number 5, St. Edward. We have unsportsmanlike. Number 55, Wayne.
Well, they just moved the ball downfield. Now they're going to mark off back.
Right, you know, instead of that, they should just make him kiss and make up.
Well, right back to where we started from. 4th down and 9.
4th down.
And they'll send the punting unit out. 9:56 left to go in the game. So it's going to start to become desperation time for the Wayne Warriors. Caleb Davis to punt it away. Hegedus back to return. Fair catch signaled for.
Nice job, Hegedus.
So the Eagles will take over inside their own 20-yard line. They lead by 10 with 9:47 left to play. Join Bruce Drennan every Sunday night at 7 following Browns games and Monday through Thursday at 3:30 for the all-new Drennan Live on Sports Time Ohio. New look, same Bruce. He was down here in Columbus in advance of our first game this weekend on Thursday. Had his show and he had all sorts of characters like you and me. But he also had some esteemed guests like Archie Griffin. So it's great to see Bruce down here for the kickoff of our high school football state championship weekend. St. Edward has the ball. They have the lead. Under 10 minutes to go. Cole Guest trying to turn the corner, nowhere to go, and he is ripped down in the backfield by Cannell.
Now, we didn't see that defense in the first half from the Warriors. Nice job at extending it out. Good, there. You see the loop that Guest has to make. That's compliments to Robert Landers. Watch this. He's got to bounce that out because of the penetration. Extends the play, and that lets Cannell take the downhill approach and show up. Again, we did not see that in the first half. Defense is playing better. Coach Minton says it all starts with the D, and if they're going to win this game, it's got to start right now with that defense.
The Eagles want to burn as much clock as possible now. Play clock under 5 seconds. They'll snap it. They'll give it to Guest. And a short game. Ball's out! Picked up by Landers! Touchdown, Wayne! Only fitting that Robert Landers would pick it up and run it in for the touchdown because he's played out of his mind all night long. Now hold everything because there are 2 penalty flags on the field. One's in the end zone, one is back at the 8-yard line.
It's all right, it's a touchdown. You heard the color right there. They said it's all right, it's a touchdown. I gotta believe there might be some excessive celebration. I don't think it'll take away the 6, but Coach Minton doesn't know and he's concerned.
Well, the Wayne player saying it's a touchdown. Will it be marked off on the point after try or on the kickoff? Here's the call.
Result of the play was a touchdown. After the touchdown, we had unsportsmanlike, excessive celebration on Wayne. Penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
All right, so they'll go for the extra point try.
He wants to know who. Well, I don't want to answer for the referees, but
the whole team.
That guy's got to be from Cleveland. Put that on the air. He's got to be from Cleveland. Put that right on the air.
Oh, boy. Coach Minton, he's not happy about that official who made that call. Here's the point after try.
He doesn't have to worry about being on the air.
Here's
Great
the play. Cole Guest fighting for extra yardage.
Matt, you nailed it. I mean, if there's anybody more deserving than this, it's Robert Landers right there. You see the play. Look at there. There's Guy Victoria on the hit.
Mike Wharton, I think, knocked it out, Frank.
There's Andre Douglas.
Bang.
Mike Wharton on that. There's Chris Otto. And then Robert Landers. But
did they call it on the coach?
He's got some up downs if they did. But again, Guy Victoria, Chris Otto, Andre Douglas. You mentioned Jordan Davis, and all those guys. Mike Wharton making that play. Robert Landers cleaning up for the score.
Andre, what do you got on that excessive celebration? Was that you dancing on the field?
It was not me. Coach Minton was out in the field, and you know we've had a couple different times when they've called penalties and told him to back up. It was on the players in the end zone, but Coach Minton has never had anyone tell him that. So when you heard him say that official must be from Cleveland, I think he still thinks the penalty is on him and not his players. Very interesting moment down here on the sideline, to say the least.
Well, it was a heck of a turn of events in this football game because St. Edward has a 10-point lead, trying to grind the clock. Next thing you know, turnover, touchdown.
Look at that. Look at that. Boy, you need to get excited about that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Heck, part of me believes they should let kids spike the ball after scores. But there was created a Sam Weish moment right there by Coach Minton.
Well, this penalty backs them all the way up now to the 25-yard line where they'll have to kick it off. And Seth Strong boots it downfield. It's picked up by Hegedus. And Hegedus is across the 50 down to the 45 of the Warriors with 8:45 left to go in the game. But now Wayne going to be energized on defense as they come back on the field.
Well, they better be, because they've given up, as a result, and we laugh a little bit about it, but that's a big penalty. The result of that, Edson's got a very, very short field. You talk about they better be energized. Typically, in a situation like this, you take a shot.
Keene swings it, incomplete. He was looking for Dowell. Andrew Dowell on the little swing pass. First team All-Ohio on the defensive side of the ball. Got some action tonight on offense.
See Brett Keene now in practice, he completes that pass 10 out of 10. But in the big game in the fourth quarter with only a 3-point lead, you see the pressure that these kids are under.
Hand it off to Dowell, coming near side. He's met by 3 red shirts, and down he goes. Colin Lehman was in there initially, but he had a lot of help. Look at 54, fight off the block, meet him head on, grab onto the shirt.
I just can't survey my flip card fast enough to mention all those guys involved in that play, but certainly Colin Lehman right there was the first to the scene of the crime.
3rd and 9. Keene rifles it, complete. Dowell, first down and more. I don't think the Warriors ever accounted for Dowell coming out of the backfield because he was wide open.
Again, blocking. Watch the block downfield by Sean Crawford, number 17. This frees him up. That's just enough right there to allow Dowell to get to the outside and pick up the first down. Look at, give me a high five. He knows he was a big part of that.
1st and 10 at the 31. Under 8 minutes to go. And inside the 30-yard line. On the handoff, Andrew Dowell once again.
Inside handoff, inside zone right there. Tough sledding up in the middle. That's a win for the defense, I think. Only limiting that first down run to about 2 yards.
Second down from the 29 of the Wayne Warriors.
snapped it with 1 second left on the play clock. Keene going deep for Dow, but he overthrows him in the end zone. And it will be 3rd down and long once again. Cole Guest returns to the field offensively for the first time since that fumble was returned for a touchdown.
A little frustration you see right there from Brett Keene. Yeah, he's trying to extend the play, and he was motioning to his receivers downfield, go deep, go deep. Tobias Gilliam, number 7 for the Warriors, recognized that. He was all over that coverage. No place to go. Good defense again by the Warriors. Another win, and that's what you got to look at it. Each play, not look at the whole. Each play you got to win.
3rd down. Keene needs the 21-yard line. Steps up, scampers, throws. Incomplete. He was looking for Guest, who was running down the sideline, but there was pretty good coverage in the secondary, and so now it brings up 4th and long.
Again, Tobias Gilliam right there, Gilliam, number 7. Because of his body position, Matt, he doesn't allow Guest to get to the ball. You see the frustration out of Coach Finati. Again, extending the play, the pressure, forcing him out of the pocket. See the body position. Well, yeah, he's got a chance to catch that.
Guest goes out. Dow back in. Play clock's down to 5. Excuse me, play clock's down to 10. Now it's down to 5. And Keene is going to have to take a timeout. Obviously,
timeout.
St.
Edward.
Brett was looking at the sidelines as if to say, I can't hear what you're trying to tell me, and so some miscommunication. And they've got a timeout on the field as Coach Finati gathers the troops. Let's go down to Andre.
As you talk about miscommunication, Matt, on the 2nd down play that you had the long throw out to the back of the end zone on Dow, where the quarterback, where Keene had to get outside the pocket. Both the receivers, 2 receivers ran the same route. That's why he was frustrated and then had to get out of the pocket, because there was 2 guys in the same spot. They ran into each other. And I think right now they're trying to debate what's the best play to go for in 4th down. We know it's windy down here, and we're getting a little bit of rain slowly but surely. It's back.
Why not? It's been here all weekend long. It was beautiful at the start and for most of this game, but yeah, as I look up to the lights, you can see that fine mist of rain starting again. So Brett Keene with 7:02 left in the game, faced with a 4th down from his own 29.
And this is why Ohio football is the best football. You know, it's not just sunshine, cloudless days. You've got to play football in every condition.
Like I said, his own 29. Keene is at the Wayne Warriors 29-yard line. 4th down play, empty backfield. Good protection, 1st down catch, spinning away, in the clear, and down at the 6-7-yard line. David Dow comes up with a big catch for the Eagles. See where they officially spot him down at the 7.
None bigger convert here in the game than this 4th down convert right there. Look at the spin, the athleticism, not once but twice. Again, he's at the end of this play, he's looking to lateral it, but you'll see in confusion. Andre talked about it, you know, before. Confusion in the secondary, they're just not latching on to the receivers.
1st and goal. Andrew Dow turns the corner and he takes it down to the 5-yard line before he's run out of bounds.
Take a look at the outside stretch right there. Yeah, he just turns it up, doesn't want to go out of bounds, shows the toughness of turning it up, and then fighting for extra yardage, because, you know, inside the 10-yard line, that's valuable real estate.
You see number 32, that's Danny O'Malley. Nose tackle and blocking back. He's in the backfield. Keene fakes it. Throws it, touchdown! Oh, why not? Michael O'Malley with the touchdown catch. He's played a tremendous game on defense. He gets a little tight end action, and he hauls it in. We've got a penalty flag in the end zone. Perhaps once again, a little too much celebration.
See his brother, Danny O'Malley, right there, number 32. Brett King getting the ball to Michael. I don't even have
score. Unsportsmanlike celebration, number 47 for St. Edward. Penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
I don't even have Michael O'Malley on the offensive depth chart.
Like the fridge, nose tackle, slash tight end.
Yeah, you think of those great defensive player like Mike Vrabel coming in with the Patriots, catching touchdown passes.
Attaboy, thanks for updating. Good snap, kick up and good. I mean, kids in high school, who's the fridge? Kids in high school now, right? They're like, who's the fridge? What are you talking about, old man? 30-21, St. Edward. 31-21 with 5:44 to play. St. Ed's up 10 with 5:44 left to go in the game. These two teams met 4 years ago on a snowy night in Canton. And St. Edward took the lead late in the football game, but Braxton Miller engineered a comeback drive. And the Wayne Warriors quarterback took it in. But St. Edward would prevail, scoring late in the football game to preserve ultimate victory. And the Eagles took home the championship. And one thing Jay Minton told us this week when we asked him about that game, he said, you know, I'm standing there on the sidelines and I've got Braxton Miller standing next to me on the sideline. I'm like, what am I doing? He said, you should have seen Braxton play defense. He said, I should have had him on the field defensively, and I didn't. He said, that stuck in my craw for a long time, but he said, I've let it go.
Yeah, and how ironic, before that game, Jim Tressel told Braxton Miller, he said, listen, if you win the turnover battle or you don't have any turnovers, you'll win that game. Sure enough, how prophetic was that as he points, because when Coach Minton points to that moment in the game when they're up 21-7 and they throw a pick.
Yep.
And that he said,
changed the whole game.
He said it changed the whole game, and he just saw the victory slip through his hands.
Braxton, of course, has gone on and had a phenomenal career at Ohio State. Injured this year, missed the season, but from all indications, he'll be back next year. And it's going to be a crowded quarterback position for Ohio State next season. Well, after the penalty, St. Edward will have to kick it off from their own 25. And we'll see if the Warriors can take advantage of it the way the Eagles did. Kick deep. It's going to give the big man a chance, Ahmad Wagner. He's already run one back for a touchdown in the game. This time he's taken down at the 42. Well, no mystery here. The Warriors need a quick score to have a shot in this one. They're down 10, and Wagner a little banged up coming off the field. Left arm down by his side. That's not good because they need him if they're going to have a shot to come back in this one. Take a look. Left side. Was it the arm, the shoulder, maybe? I don't know.
Can't tell. I know that's one of the more physical players dragging him down in Troy Dupree.
Demetric Trice goes to work on first down. Sacked by O'Malley. Michael O'Malley, who caught that touchdown pass, that was, we're told, the first catch of the year. Might be the only pass they've thrown to him, period.
Makes it special. I think Trice, he's got a man open down there. You got to let it go. You got to let it go. You got to trust your receivers, especially at this point of the game. You gotta take a chance. You gotta try to make a play downfield.
We've seen Michael O'Malley and Adam Thompson, number 37, the other defensive end, meeting at the quarterback a lot today. They've been able to get good pressure from the edge. Meanwhile, Trice in a big hole. Underneath, he hits Wagner. Wagner fighting for extra yards out to the 45-yard line. And I think 20 of the 22 players were ended up in that scrum at the end of the play.
I think even a couple players came off the bench in that. But I was wondering when they were going to blow the whistle. Right there, the quick throw to Wagner, almost indefensible with the 6'6" frame. See him fighting for extra yardage, and now it just becomes a scrum.
3rd and 7.
Again, the inside slant right there. Getting inside position. Good route running.
Trice, play action, Down the middle of the field, Schrader. Ball's out. It's a catch and a fumble, and Antonio Butler has it for the Eagles, and he's coming the other way with it. And Butler down to the 32. And that all but seals the fate of the Wayne Warriors tonight. A costly turnover by Schrader, who was fighting for extra yards. He had the first down. He was fighting for more, and that ball just popped out of the air, and it goes 36 yards the other way.
Well, he takes a heck of a lick right there from the backside by David Dowell. That springs the ball loose. Antonio Butler is right there to recover it. Beautiful return. Almost 40 yards on that return. Getting it downfield. That's a big play. Got a feel for Schrader on that, trying to make a play, tough kid. Just doesn't see it coming from the backside, and the ball pops loose. Not at all what they wanted.
So now the Eagles have it at the 32 with 3:50 left on the clock. Wayne has all three of their timeouts remaining. Well, this is Andrew Dowell darting forward. Ohio Stadium in Columbus, the Division I state championship game. The 6th of 7 state championship contests that we have on slate this weekend. The final game comes next here on Sports Time Ohio in Division 5 as the Coldwater Cavaliers will take on Canton Central Catholic.
Well, it's St. Edward's game now to lose. In control, 31-21, up 2 scores. With approaching the 3-minute mark, they just got to grind it out, finish off.
Keene letting the play clock wind down. I don't know why, it doesn't matter. The game clock is, well, now it's moving. It looked like it was stopped. Here comes Dowell. And he's close to the first down. It looks like he's got it.
Now in this series of downs, they're going to make Wayne's got 2 timeouts left. They'll make Wayne burn these 2 times. Here you see the downhill approach on the outside zone. You know, that's just getting to the perimeter and picking up big yardage. Can't afford that. But nice job by that offensive side. Again, mentioned Andrew Turner a number of times tonight. He's done an outside great job of blocking at the tackle position.
First down and 10. And Keene hand it to Dowell, and he's down inside the 20.
Two things that they want to do, the Eagles, is they want to stay in bounds and don't fumble.
Now timeout called by the Wayne Warriors.
Wayne, the first charge timeout.
They have 2 timeouts remaining.
A little slow with that timeout. Could have saved himself about 15 seconds calling it earlier.
Well, it's no mystery. Down 10 with only 2:20 to go, and they don't have the ball. They need
on the clock.
A turnover. You need a turnover. You need it. You don't get a turnover. Make them kick the ball for a field goal attempt. And then you're still within 2 scores. Then, of course, after that, looking way ahead, you need a quick score, cover the onside kick, and another quick score.
Well, we saw it. We saw that happen already.
Right. Hey, you notice I'm not calling anything right now. After the last couple, we've seen a team, Central Catholic, come back with a minute running the ball downfield. We saw yesterday, Minster come back.
Score, onside kick, score again, amazing.
Yeah, and that was with, I think, less than 2 minutes.
But the difference here is St. Edward has the football. And they truly control their own fate, as you pointed out before. Second down and 7 with 2:23 left on the clock. Dowell goes back in the formation behind the quarterback. Keene hands it to him. Dowell stays in bounds.
no gain on the play. And so it's third down coming up for the Eagles.
Nice, no hurry up here. Nice, slow and deliberate. Gonna keep your eye on that play clock. I'm still hoping you'll point it out to me. I don't see the play clock anywhere. Is it at the field level?
It's halfway up in the end zones.
I got you. There you go. Yep. Now next to the scoreboard now.
You could have asked me before our last game. I'd have pointed out to you Thursday if you wanted to know.
I felt embarrassed.
Play clock runs out. And did they get a timeout called? They did. Coach Finati called a timeout.
Timeout. St. Edward. It's their third and final timeout.
So they're out of timeouts. Not what they wanted to do there, but.
No. Well, they burned it all the way down, as much clock as they could use.
Stay tuned. Our final game of the weekend coming up next. Coldwater. The Midwest Athletic Conference against Canton Central Catholic. Now, you've seen them play, right?
Ooh, yeah. McCuddy, quarterback for Central Catholic, he's dynamic. And they've got a lot of weapons on that team. Saw him play last week in Zanesville versus Bishop Hartley. And that was a tough Bishop Hartley team. And we know about Coldwater.
Yeah, we know Coldwater. They're here. They pretty much get an invitation every year to this party. No, it's a well-earned invitation to the state championships and that conference year in, year out. Marion Local won big earlier today. Minster winning last night, so they got a chance to bring home 3 state championship trophies in one conference. Midwest Athletic Conference. I don't know if that's ever happened before.
No, I don't know if it has.
Here we go, 3rd down and 6 for St. Edward with $1:33 left on the clock. Dowell hitting the backfield, bouncing it outside. And a penalty flag comes in late in the area of what usually is a holding call. Let's see what we get. And that's what it will be. So 4th down coming up for St. Edward, or 3rd down and long. I would assume you got to decline the penalty and make it 4th down if you're Wayne.
Holding 65 on the offense. Take our penalty. Repeat, 3rd down.
Well, they're going to take the penalty. And they'll give St. Edward a chance to burn more clock. Hold on a second. Now we got.
The clock is running.
Wayne has called a timeout.
Wayne, your second charge timeout.
It's going to be 3rd down and long for St. Edward. Ball's at the 30-yard line.
Operator, please put 1:26 on the clock.
Now, it's been a long season for all of these high school football players. You think about the hard work that starts in the summertime as you get ready, you get into two-a-days. And then for the teams that are competing here in Columbus this weekend, this is the 15th, the 15th football game that they have played. That's one shy of what they play in the National Football League. It's a lot of football, and this isn't a full-time job like it is for those guys. And they've still got to hit the books and get the schoolwork done.
Right. Yeah, talking to Coach Finati, they've got a long school day. They meet at 7:15 in the morning to watch film.
Just noticed Cole Guest had gone to the locker room for Lakewood St. Edward, and he is now returning to the field. So that's a good sign to see.
Just need to go to the bathroom, that's all.
from Dowell. He's down to the 26-yard line, and it will be 4th down. And the Wayne Warriors will burn their final timeout of the night.
Timeout, Wayne. 3rd and final timeout.
Well, I think you see Coach Finati talking to his guys, but really you got to mention his offensive line coaches, Kinney and Scanlon. You know, they coordinate the run game. They've done a great job. And the overall coordinator, John Hunick, really, I thought, managed this game very well.
Clock operator.
Yeah, they
reset the game clock.
Look, at the end of the day,
17.
This was it was a wild first quarter. There was a lot of action, but to me, the story of this game was the suffocating element of that St. Edward defense. They just don't give you many opportunities. You take away the kickoff return for a touchdown and a punt return for a touchdown, their defense has only given up 7 points.
Right.
And that's tough to win when you can't move the ball consistently.
You nailed it right there. You know, the defense coordinator, Pete Pappas for the Eagles, you know, he's done a great job there of limiting their scoring. And we talked about on the season's average, less than 8 points per game, but it's the consistency with what we see the Eagles play today. And I thought, yeah, the Warriors played at moments with great potential and made great plays, but they lacked the consistency to have the lead now.
4th down play. Down. Darting downfield. 1st down. And that'll do it. Andrew Dowell seals the deal with a 4th down plunge. He just kept driving forward, and he ends up with a 1st down at the 10-yard line. And from here, the Eagles can just kneel it down, and this one will be in the history books. Keene takes a knee. St. Edward will finish the year 13-2. The Wayne Warriors will finish also at 13-2. But for Coach Finati, those 2 losses came early in the season. And he said his team refocused. They had some long talks with each other. And they've played outstanding football since. They are a well-deserving state champion in Division I. 2nd state championship in school history. Both have come under Rick Finati. And they're just the 3rd school now in Ohio history to win a basketball state title and a football state title now in the same calendar year. So a lot of good things happening at St. Edward High School in Lakewood, Ohio. And for the Wayne Warriors, a game bunch, and they gave it everything they had, a terrific effort. And they made it a game. This was a This was a ball game right up.
Yes, sir, they did.
Until the bitter end.
Right, it was a 3-point game in the 4th quarter. Of course, it was a 3-point game at halftime. Wayne was giving them, matched the physicality, matched the toughness from St. Ed's. But again, in the long run, we mentioned the consistency, and I think being battle-tested, St. Ed's. And that's not to say that Wayne doesn't play an outstanding schedule, they do. But I just think a little bit more consistent play out of the Eagles today led them to victory.
Well, they certainly never flinched, they never blinked in the eye of some adversity. And it didn't always go their way tonight.
No, it did
not like they came in here and rolled, but they were able to handle everything that Wayne threw at them one way or another. And they emerge victorious tonight with the Division I state championship crown.
and they got creative. I mean, we saw O'Malley catch a touchdown pass now, first one of the year.
That's right.
So, you know, they had to do some things that they just don't normally do.
Let's go down to Andre. Not Andre. They say defense wins championship. Never was it more evident than what we saw from the St. Edward Eagles.
That's the truth, Matt. We're talking about defense winning championships, and tonight, Coach, I think you can lay your hat on that.
Yeah, I'm really proud of the coaches and the kids, the way they battled. I mean, all the credit. Huber Heights Wayne's a tremendous Coach Minton and that staff. There's so much fight on both sides. These kids left it on the field. It's too bad there had to be a loser in this game, but in my opinion, we got 2 winners here.
I mean, you know, there was a big momentum change when they got the fumble recovery, scored the touchdown. What did it say about your team to come back and get those points back?
Yeah, I mean, the kickoff return, you're right, and then the fumble, and then the then Sean Crawford had the penalty on the block. I mean, that's just called teamwork and teammates picking each other up, and you got to be in this together. Can't lay it on one person's shoulders.
Ton of history at St. Edwards. What does it mean to get the 2nd state championship for the football program?
You know what? It's special. It's really special for these kids, and these guys were in 8th grade, these seniors, when we made it, and you know, just to be able to put their mark on it, you know, it's pretty special.
It really is. Great job. Not only winning the state championship, but you didn't get wet. I don't know how you pulled that off.
I blocked it.
You're getting good at this. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Oh, no problem. Back to you, Matt.
All right, thanks a lot, Andre. And, you know, Frank, I don't have a crystal ball, and I don't know what the future holds, but I do know St. Edward has been through a lot of turnover in the football program in terms of coaches. They've had a lot of guys coming and going. Rick Finati, 6 years, 2 state championships. Hopefully they've got a guy who can be there for a long time if he wants to stay.
Yeah, they got to hold on to him. I mean, he's doing a great job there. I remember covering their first game of his career there at St. Ed's, and they played St. Ignatius in Lakewood, and St. Ignatius had their way. Well, he's turned that around, and again, has done an outstanding job.
Well, we're getting ready now for the trophy presentations. First up, the Wayne Warriors will take home the runner-up trophy this year in Division I, and we'll go down to Bo Rugg.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is a great football game between 2 great Division I powers. Coach Minton, your team, to get to this final and to get to any state final, you have to beat champions. You beat the 2-time state defending champion in the semifinal. Your team has 24 wins in the last 2 years, and I know your fans are quite proud of you. It gives me great pleasure to honor you and your team with the runner-up trophy, Division I 2014. Congratulations, Wayne High School.
Tell you what, that guy right there had a heck of a football game. I know it sounds cliche. You don't have anything to hang your head about. But I really feel that way for this Wayne Warriors team. These kids really played hard tonight, and you know, I thought Trice played hard. He had a lot of pressure to deal with in the quarterback spot. But boy, Robert Landers, I mean, he was unblockable at times, and against a very good, one of the best offensive lines probably in the state of Ohio.
He graded out 95%. He had a good day today. He's got nothing to hang his head about.
Picked up a fumble and scored to keep this game close for the Wayne Warriors. And these guys came a long way to get back to the state championship game. And I feel for Coach Minton, because you get here 3 times, you feel like at some point the football gods have got to smile on me, right? 3 times, and all 3 times at Bridesmaid. But I know he'll keep fighting, and his group will be back here again in the near future. Let's go back down to Bo Rugg for the presentation now of the state championship trophy.
Trophy to the St. Edward High School Eagles.
There's a great tradition at St. Edward High School. This is your 48th state championship in all sports at St. Edwards. This is your 2nd state championship in football. And I know these seniors are very happy, but I know your fans are really proud of how you came through this tournament. And it gives me great pleasure on behalf of all of our member schools, our board of directors, and our OHSA staff to present St. Edward High School state champions, Division I.
Well, all St. Edward's alum are smiling tonight. It's a great tradition, and Coach Finati, one of the things I like that he has done, he calls this is the 66th unit. They're the 66th edition of St. Edward football. He said it's not 2014, it's not 19. We're the 66th unit.
Right.
It's kind of like a military reference thing.
Right. We and the kids and the coaches and gentlemen,
thank you for
it's about everybody.
Yeah, and this group has been able to reap the rewards that come with winning a state championship. They're going to take home the big trophy back to Lakewood, Ohio tonight as we take a look at the final numbers. St. Edward, really, as I said, I mean, they at one point they dominated the game on the stat sheet, but they were only up 3 points. And that's why I really admire the way Wayne played. They were able to hang in there, even though they were getting outgained and they weren't able to really get any traction offensively. But in the end, the Eagles were able to pull away.
A classic example of making more plays than the other team, and that's what St. Ed's did. And I mean, Wayne made a number of great plays, and they're very talented. And
usually you give up 14 points off turnovers. That's a killer in a championship game. That tells you just how good their defense is. That they could afford to give up those points, and it didn't bother them.
Right, and how fragile the game is. They give up 14, and they lose by 10. You don't do that, it's a whole nother story right there. And, they certainly deserve to be here, and both teams did. And like we've said all weekend, it's a shame one of them had to lose.
Well, one of the guys for St. Edward who starred tonight maybe isn't a guy who gets his name in the paper a lot, gets a lot of recognition, but Michael O'Malley. Whether it was on defense, coming off the edge, rushing a passer, or lining up a tight end and catching a touchdown pass. He did it all tonight for this Eagles team.
Well, yeah, you talk about a kid with a high motor. You're witnessing that right there. Whatever they asked him to do, sack the quarterback, catch it in the end zone, whatever, he was the man.
Well, the man is with our man, Andre Knott.
Definitely the man. All right, I'm going to start off. What was better, hitting the quarterback tonight or getting a touchdown?
That touchdown felt great, but getting those sacks is probably definitely better. Doing my job on defense I've done all year, so it felt great getting that sacks.
Knowing you guys were going to go against Wayne and had on a high-powered offense, what did it mean for the defense to be able to step up and slow that offense down?
We know we had to stop them deep with their athletes. They had those great wide receivers, but our DB stepped up a lot. We got pressure on that quarterback a lot, so I think that was the game plan going in. We knew they were going to be tough, so we finished great.
For the people around the state that don't know about the history of St. Edwards, what does it mean to be able to be a football player and say you're going back with a state championship?
Oh, it feels great because we've been to the state championship a few times. Never get it. We're the second team to ever do it. It's great to do it all the alumni and all those other people that couldn't do it. So it feels great, and it's a great tradition at St. Ed. So it was great.
It's great. It's all right. It's great. Go enjoy it with your friends. You had a great game tonight.
Thank you, sir.
All right, back to you, Matt.
Oh, Andre got a sir. I like it.
How about that?
You've grown up, Andre.
Andre needs one of those hats.
Let's send it right back down to Andre.
All right, they were going to get your brother with us. We're going to get both of you guys. Just talk about how great a game that was for you guys defensively.
It was a great game for us. Wayne's a hell of an opponent. We were just able to come through at the end, so that's what we did. We executed.
How cool is it to have twin brothers be able to have a state championship to finish things off?
It's great just playing together. We're almost all like brothers from 1 through 11, and we did this thing.
Was there a moment this season where you guys felt like the season took off? Was it after the losses, or when did you think it happened?
Yeah, I think after the loss, our second loss, I was the one who gave the game-winning touchdown pass, and I just let my team know that I'd never do that again. We've been rolling ever since.
What did you do defensively tonight you felt against their receivers that slowed them down?
Their receivers were very good, but I just came out with the same mentality I've been having, and it worked, so we're good.
How good was that last run to get that first down to finish this off?
Yes, sir. Coach Finati came to me and said, I'm going to ride you to the end, and I said I got him, and we finished this thing out.
Great job, guys. Congratulations, and enjoy it. I keep calling get sir. I got to go get younger.
Ain't going to happen, Andre. Take it from me. Oh, man. Well, great job down there on the field to Andre and up here in the booth, Stacy and Kreskin over there did a great job crunching the numbers for us once again. Special thanks to Jeff Platts, our producer, Mike Simons directing, and everybody involved with our crew and staff here in Columbus, Ohio. Great job by all involved. We enjoyed being here, and Frank, was a lot of fun.
Hey,
can't wait till next year.
Great weekend. A great weekend.
That's going to wrap up our coverage for this particular game. Stay tuned because Chud, Beanie, and the coach are going to keep you entertained, and then they're going to get you ready for the finale, the Division V state title tilt between Coldwater and Canton Central Catholic. That's still all to come right here on Sports Time Ohio. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more right here on Sports Time Ohio. Defense has been playing. There's a throw into the end zone. Caught! Touchdown! Frank Guy! And it's 24-14 St. Edward with 11:10 left to go in the game.
And that trophy, the Division I trophy, it's coming back to Lakewood. St. Ed's has done it again. They've won their second state championship. In fact, they beat Wayne for the second time in a state title game. They did it back in 2010 in snowy Canton. They do it in the rain in Columbus this time around. Dave Chudowski back with you here in Cleveland. This is the Hyundai Studios. The running back, Chris Beanie Wells, the head coach, Bill Powers. Guys, another exciting game to add to the weekend. We now have 6 champions crowned, 1 more to go. Beanie, I start with you. First quarter, track meet, really exciting. Second and third quarter kind of slowed down. Fourth quarter, really exciting again. In the end, the Eagles just made more plays and they win by 10, 31-21.
I thought they had a great game plan. They came out, they ran the ball effectively early on in the game, and when they couldn't run the ball in the second half, they threw the ball around a little bit. Wayne did a fantastic job stopping their run in the second half. They got back on track. They made a fight to get back in the game, but they just came up short.
Yeah, it was kind of a weird game because you thought at times that St. Ed's was dominating, but you look at the scoreboard and it wasn't the case. And it really came down to a couple of really big fourth down conversions by Ed's that really made the difference in this game.
Coach, let me ask you this, being from the Cleveland area and, we know how big of a deal this is to the St. Edward community. I mean, there was a long period of time where that was a school and a program that hadn't won a state title. They finally got it in 2010. And it meant a lot to them because it was the one trophy they were missing in a trophy case filled with a lot of trophies. They finally got it. How big of a deal is it to this community to get a second one?
I think it's a huge deal, especially with Coach Finati. You're under so much pressure at a place like St. Ed's, and you're having a great year. And if you don't win Week 15, people look at it as a failure. So I'm very happy that they finished Week 15 because I think they truly deserved it as being the best team in the state.
All right, I'd like to give hats off to Wayne, too. What a great year for them. They beat a lot of great programs down in Southwest Ohio, and they brought it strong today. Nothing to be ashamed of. Very good program in Wayne. They just fall a little bit short today. Let's take a look at the highlights. At halftime, it was 17-14 St. Ed's, and right here, Dow tackled for a 4-yard loss. And, Coach, I'm thinking, maybe kick the field goal here. You said go for it.
I said go for it, and I said, obviously, Coach Finati and them called a great play and had a guy wide open.
It's Guide for the touchdown for Brett Keene. That made it 24-14. They get out to that 10-point advantage. Coach is thinking, yeah, I made the right call. But here comes Guest, and he's drilled, fumbles, and Beanie. Robert Landers going to West Virginia, that's a pivotal play.
Oh, he made plays all game long, but I don't think any were more important than that play right there.
Yeah, that gets him right back in it. That made it 24-21. That other touchdown made it 24-14. And then Keene, though, delivers. That's your boy O'Malley, Coach.
Mike O'Malley on the all-powers team, guaranteed, maybe even a captain. He's a guy you don't think about. He had quarterback sacks, an interception, and a touchdown.
A captain on the all-powered. Woo! There's a fumble, huh? It was 31-21. And Beanie, that pretty much ices it right there as Dow forces the fumble. He was a presence all game long.
He was. That's something you can't do in a state championship. When the game's on the line, you have to protect the football, and that's the reason why they came up short today.
And that put him up 31-21. Yeah, that's the reaction if you weren't rooting for the Eagles. A tough loss for Wayne, but bottom line, St. Ed's. The Eagles get it done again, finishing the season at 13-2. As we take a look at the final numbers there, Coach, thing that stands out to me there, total yards for the Eagles, 393.
Yeah, that's what we're saying. I mean, they really dominated the game in theory, but never on the scoreboard until the fourth quarter. That's just a testament to Wayne that they hung around, for so long.
Beanie, what stands out to you there?
Two things. Penalties. We talked about playing disciplined football. They were a little undisciplined. And the pass yards. I expected Trice to go out and throw the ball around and throw for a ton of yards. And, they're saying that you got my hats off goes to St. Ed's. They did a great job stopping their pass game.
All right, we have one more game to go. It's coming up at 8 o'clock, 7:30 pregame show right here on Sports Time Ohio. It's the D5 State Championship. Canton Central Catholic, 14-0, taking on Coldwater, 13-1. This is going to be a battle. It's the Mighty Mac again, guys. Can Canton Central Catholic get it done?
Pressure's on Coldwater. They got to live up to the reputation of the MAC.
I can't wait to see this Coldwater team right here. Another MAC powerhouse.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it is so true. One last thought here before we go. Guys, is St. Ed's, the Eagles, the best team in the state of Ohio? And I know that's you might be saying at home, why are you asking that question? They're the #1 team in Division I, the state's top division. Is there another team out there you think might be better, like a LaSalle in D2, or another program in D1 that didn't get to face the Eagles?
I would like to see that LaSalle-St. Ed's matchup. Two powerful teams, very athletic, go head-to-head in the matchup.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anybody else in Division I, but I agree with you. I think LaSalle would be the game I want to see, is St. Ed's and LaSalle on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I agree. I'll tell you what, LaSalle, wow, they proved a lot last night. All right, 6 state champions. We have Toledo Central Catholic, Benedictine, Minster, LaSalle, Marion Local, St. Edward. 6 down, 1 to go. Who takes the hardware tonight? You got to find out. Tune in, 7:30. The coach, the running back, the host. We'll be back at 7:30 as we get you set from the Hyundai studio here in downtown Cleveland. Enjoy the rest of the night, everyone. We'll see you in about an hour.
Play action. Down the middle of the field, Schrader. Ball's out. It's a catch and a fumble. And Antonio Butler has it for the Eagles. And he's coming the other way with it. And Butler down to the 32. And that all but seals the fate of the Wayne Warriors tonight.